What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 12 of the Gamer Podcast. I am Antonius the Gamer, once again joined by my two co-hosts, Super SSS Rank and Mikkel Smith. Fellas, thank you guys for joining me for another episode. Thank you guys for tuning in, viewers and listeners. We got a lot of topics to get through today. A lot has been happening both in the anime and gaming world. There's a lot of shakeups that's been happening. Again, it's been... we're heading to the fall. It seems like summer flew by in terms of gaming news. There was a brief dead period, and then they kind of just riled right back up. Most of it being led by Mortal Kombat. But Tekken has had a few surprises. The anime world has had a few surprises. And I think, what better place to start than with Naruto, right? We got an announcement that I believe starting next week that Naruto is going to do four supposedly hour-long episodes dedicated to the history of the original series with brand new animation, brand new angles, brand new reimaginings of key moments in the original franchise. On top of that, we got a brand new Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm's Connections trailer, and that's been, having gameplay released as Gamescom comes to a conclusion. And, the things that were revealed there, and the trailer that was revealed there, and the characters, and it even got a release date of November. We're actually getting it this year. And to kind of, wrap up the triumvirate, the trio of Naruto news, the time skip in Boruto is officially upon us. We got all the time skip reveals of the new generation. We had seen the leak of Sarada's costume and everything like that. Now we've seen Boruto's. We've seen the new Shika Ino Cho. We've seen everybody basically in their, older forms in the chapter that came with that. So, fellas, let's kind of start in order. We'll end with the games. How are you guys feeling about the anime special? How are you guys feeling about, Studio Period releasing four, again, allegedly hour-long specials dedicated to key moments in the Naruto franchise?
I like that, experimenting with new technology. It is interesting, especially for my adult eyes, to really see, wow, so this is how it looked when I first watched it. And this is how it looks now. It's kind of reminds me of, remember those Pokemon shorts that they kept releasing, like Pokemon Origins, Pokemon Evolutions, Pokemon, yeah, where it's so much better animation quality. But then you could tell it's don't get your hopes up because this type of animation costs. Yeah. So you're just going to enjoy this episode for what it is and let it just stay in your mind for what it is. Mm-hmm. And that's the approach that I'm looking at it, because you could tell the first fight might be, I would say, Naruto versus Sasuke, or the Sound Ninja 4 leading into the fight with Naruto and Sasuke. You already could tell.
You think that's how it'll start, or how the first episode will end?
I think that's how the first episode will start and end. Basically the fights with the Sound Ninja 4 leading and end with Naruto versus Sasuke.
Okay.
I'm actually hoping that actually happens. I want to see the fight with Orochimaru again.
I take that back. I would say the fight with the Kages and Orochimaru.
I was gonna say, bro, you're missing some key fights. You want to start there?
I had to really refresh my memory. Because that's when because you could tell with this, bro, jutsu flashes all day. So it's just definitely going to be key fights where it's just jutsus everywhere. On the Shippuden side, you already know where it's going.
But there's nothing you want to see on Shippuden. For me, they need to do Guy justice this time around. I'm sorry. His fights in Shippuden were animated with the dollar store budget. I need to see all of the techniques in high definition detail. Stop playing with
Pain versus Naruto. Pain versus Naruto.
That's what I said. You already know is Pain versus Naruto. The other one that I probably would think it's probably the last battle. Or
Naruto and Sasuke?
Yeah.
They did that perfectly in the original anime run, in my opinion. I don't know if they could do the episode better. That episode, to me, it's up there with their original fight.
Yeah, bro. I actually Shippuden, Madara versus the squad. Even though till this day, that fight lives in people's heads rent free.
top
It's
10, possibly top 5
it's
Shippuden
it's
anime
The
like
episode.
Kages, right?
No,
no when
him
he
versus the
no
Oh,
Alliance army.
when he fought the army. Oh, come on, that was not even fair. That one dude kid in the animation, yo, oh man, I was like,
But
dog,
he
it's
had
over,
tears in his
dog.
eye. He knew he wasn't going home to
Yeah,
his family that day, bro. He knew it was over.
he died like your classic '80s kung fu villain minion. You know when the minion
Mm.
get hit in the chest, and he's trying to render the pain. No, he just charge, do a crazy charge. Oh man, dog.
bro.
It was looking like
Shit.
Saving Private Ryan out there, bro. The opening
Oh
scene.
man, I felt so bad for Buddy, man. I was just like, yeah, it's over, dog.
Oh man,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Yeah,
They
so
gonna do that
those
fight
are
again.
those 4 moments, like in terms of animation, I would definitely see.
Actually, that's a good. We'll rattle them off real quick. So, Tim, you said you wanted to see the Kages versus Orochimaru. Oh, sorry, Orochimaru and the Kages versus the third, technically.
Yes.
Naruto versus Sasuke at the Final Valley again. You want to see Madara versus the Ninja Alliance, and then the reimagining of Naruto versus Sasuke at the final fight. Jory, what fights would you be looking to see kind of redone?
Okay.
I know Pain
They
versus
got
Naruto would be a soft
Pain
spot.
versus Naruto, number one. Number one. Pain versus Naruto. Number two, Danzo versus Sasuke.
You didn't like the original take of Danzo versus Sasuke?
I
It wasn't good, dog. It was so
Really?
cheap. Yeah, it was like I'm like out of nowhere they just fight. You know, I'm not expecting it
nah
to.
nah, bro. Like it wasn't really out of nowhere, I would say. Because, like, yes, like, ever since he found out the truth, he was on the hunt for the people in charge of the Uchiha massacre. And then, of course, when Toby was in the area, he was like, oh, this is interesting. And then that's when he brought out Sasuke. As soon as Sasuke
Okay.
turned his head, look who's right in front of you.
Mm.
So it wasn't, I wouldn't really say out of nowhere, bro, but it was definitely coming, bro. And to be honest, I felt that was one of the most battles with the most justification, bro. Like that was really revenge for the Uchiha. Like Sasuke in that fight kind of reminded me of Vegeta when he first got the Namek, when he was wiping out all of Frieza's henchmen, Kui, Dodoria, Zarbon, even the early parts of the Ginyu Force. Like Vegeta was like the boogeyman, bro. Like he was just taking them out one by one. And that's what I kind of felt like Sasuke was. Like Sasuke was determined no matter what. Like even how he sacrificed Karin, bro. He was like, no, this is
Okay.
personal.
But yeah, I think I want to see that fight reanimated. Okay, Tim. I see your point. That's
I
good.
would love to see that part too.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Because to me, I think the latter half got a little wonky animation wise, but the first half when Sasuke summoning the Hawk and taking in the Windblade Shurikens and flipping with the sword, I thought that was done well. I didn't think there was anything about that looked trash to me.
It was pretty gory.
That's what I'm saying. Like it was pretty violent. Like he's
When
cutting
he crushed
Danzo
Lee.
down. Yeah, the blood is squirting out. I'm like, what do y'all not like about that? I thought that was done
Okay,
pretty well.
second one, Sasuke versus Itachi. Third one, actually.
Sasuke versus Itachi.
Yeah, because the stakes did not feel as grandeur of a payoff as they made it.
Bro, Storm 2 had better animation.
This
That's
is
what I'm
true.
saying. You understand?
Okay.
It just
That's
didn't.
fair.
The
That's fair.
payoff didn't hit me.
That's fair.
That's number 4, right, or number 3?
I think that was your number 3. Number 3.
Okay,
You said Pain
so-
versus Naruto, Danzo versus
Yeah.
Sasuke versus Itachi.
Number 4, the Kages versus Pain. I mean, versus
Madara.
the Kages versus Madara. Yeah. It
Okay.
just is like how you gonna have something like that happen, and that's not
Actually,
the most talked about fight.
Show the full fight.
Yeah,
You know what I
show
mean?
show
They got off screen.
everything.
Mm-hmm.
When
Yeah, it was like,
when
what are you doing?
Split
Like,
Tsunade
how
in
did
half.
it just
and-
happen?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is that, and that. I'm like, what?
yeah, because like he did the whole where he like say he was able to undo Toby Rama's jutsu, and that was it.
That was crazy. That was crazy. He was such a cheat code. It's like at that point I remember because that was when like all the mangas were releasing simultaneously, and it was like, who is the bigger cheat code between Madara and Aizen? Like who just was like, no, there is no rules here. He undid Tobirama's jutsu. He was like, oh, with my wooden clones, do you want them to use Susanoo or do you not want to? It's up to you. I'm like, what? Clone Susanos, yo? All right. All right, bro. You got it. And you got the Rinnegan. You got it, bro.
That fight I want to see again. Last one.
I mean, that was your
I
four.
would say that was fifth one. The fifth one. Oh, so we just doing four.
The army versus the army versus the Ten Tails. Like when they did that big jutsu clash.
Storm did it better. Storm did it enough justice.
And then Sasuke versus Orochimaru first fight.
That wasn't a fight. Oh no! Wait,
that wasn't
in the forest.
Yeah, in the forest of death. The fake Orochimaru. Yeah.
What was wrong with the first?
It was. Yeah, I just want because it was so fire. Dog. I want to see.
That turned me into a Sasuke fan. Yeah.
yeah. That's the fight where I want to see that again. That
when
fight.
That Saturday.
That was the best Saturday ever.
With the windmill. Yeah, bro.
That was the best Saturday ever. That was the best Saturday ever. Y'all, let's be real. That's the greatest Saturday. That's when we was like, yo, Naruto is it. And then when Naruto got outside the clone, number one, it was the test. The test got me.
The test was great.
This was Yu-Gi-Oh written.
Yeah, the first fight against Kakashi was great. Great. A lot of the fights, because it's been so long, people kind of forget. Those first couple of arcs, top notch. The test,
top notch.
Zabuza, top notch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I one in Shippuden? One more in Shippuden?
Bro, you're at 6. Go ahead.
I agree with you, man. They gotta do Guy versus Kisame. That I won't accept that.
It was disrespectful. If you ever go look back, it's really bad. It's really bad. Like
I won't accept
the what's it called? Was it the Afternoon Tigers? It's called the Hiradora.
Tiger, yeah.
It looks like it was drawn by a kindergartner. It's that bad. You can't even tell it's a tiger in the anime. It's disrespectful. I couldn't believe.
Yeah, they definitely got to redo that one. They got to touch that one up, like hands down. Yeah. Just like they did the Goku versus Frieza fight.
Yeah,
they got to do that again, man.
Prelude that they dropped before Resurrection F. No,
or even the flashback for Dragon Ball Z Superhero with Cell and the Red Ribbon Army leading up.
Whew.
I never thought I'd see a better looking Vegeta in my life ever again. Yeah. And then they took the Prince of All Saiyans once again, Vegeta. I was like, nah.
Even the way they drew Cell after he first transformed, I was like, wow. Okay.
Perfect. In the words of Homelander, it was just perfect. Perfect.
Let's see. The 4 fights for me. I really think some of the pre-Shippuden fights could use a new coat of paint. I would love to see them kind of redo, not the rematch. I would like to see them do the first encounter with Zabuza again. When he traps Kakashi in the water prison and Naruto and Sasuke have to work together to get Kakashi out. I would love to see that with like a
behind you, believe it.
With no believe it added, please. No American dubisms. Please, none of that. I would love to see that happen. I'm trying to think of fights that just weren't done right animation-wise. I would love to see a reapproach of the 3 Sanin fight when they first clashed with the summoning jutsu. When it was Jiraiya, Orochimaru, and Tsunade on their respective summonings. That would be cool to see again. That was
episode.
Yeah, because at first you heard the whisperings of like, nah, they really them. You're like, okay. Jiraiya's a pervert, and Tsunade's strong, whatever. But then you see it like culminate, and when Tsunade is like punching Orochimaru off of Manda, and she's grabbing his tongue and just wailing on him, I'm like, bro, that needs to be done with like that top tier. Shippuden wise, of course. I mean, again, pick a guy fight. I don't even care. You could do Guy's first fight against Kasame, his rematch, even his fight against Sage Madara. All of them were done terribly animated. And they need to be redone. But if I had to pick, I would agree with Jory, the Guy versus Kasami round 2. Like, it was just ugly. It was just ugly. It's not even that long of a fight. So I would love to see it redone. To be honest, it's going to be kind of an out there pick in terms of big fights. But Gaara versus Deidara, I would like to see redone again. because Storm 2 did it better. Storm 2, like, I know you didn't play. I don't know if you ever watched the cutscenes of it, Jory. But Tim, remember in Storm 2
I
where
have
you're
it.
fighting?
I think I have
You
Storm
have it.
4.
Okay.
Does that count?
No.
I mean, they don't, because
No?
they don't revisit those fights. I know
Oh,
apparently Storm Connections, they're gonna have all the original boss battles in one game.
I don't know which one I have, man.
I don't think so. I don't think so,
No, they
Anthony.
are. It was in the original
Oh,
trailer.
they really. Oh, I mean,
Yeah, they're gonna do the Shikaku fight from the first one. Like they're basically like it's like a history mode. It's not the main story. It's like a history mode where you can relive some of the key fights from the previous Storm games.
You see if I
okay.
got it.
But I was gonna say, Tim, I don't know if you remember from Storm 2 when you fight Deidara and Gaara's chasing him through the city, and then it ends with Gaara summoning like that fake Shukaku sand to do a wind blast.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I need something like that. Like I know Gaara still ends up losing, but I need like he's the Kaze Kage. You know what I'm saying? Like this is like the man. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the way he loses in the anime was just so underwhelming to me. It's like, he protects the village and then he gets taken out. It's like, nah, add a little sauce on it. This is Gaara. You know what I'm saying? Gaara who took down Kimamaru, yo. Like this ain't Gaara's for those who don't know, this is my favorite. Well, yeah, he held out against
I got
Kimamaru.
4.
He didn't beat him.
I got 4.
You have 4, okay. Yeah, Gaara is my personal favorite character in the series, so I just want to see that done with some justice. What's that? That's 3 for me. 4th one would probably have to be
Sasuke versus Killer Bee.
No, that one. That's one of the greatest shipping
I'm just
episodes to
saying.
ever be. Yeah, like I don't.
What about Kimimaro versus Rock Lee?
I thought it was
Gaara.
fine. I thought it was fine. Given the animation quality at that time, I mean, it would be cool, but I think in terms of scale, it was fine. Like when Gaara does that sand tsunami and Kimimaro tries to run and he just gets swept up in the overall overwhelming presence of it, I feel like that was done like with justice. A fight, I'm trying to think of a 4th fight that I was like, I really want to see this get done right.
Well, here's a little like a little. Remember when they fought the 7 ninja swordsmen? When they were trying to seal them, we never saw the fight with Sagetsu's brother.
We didn't see the fight really, to be honest. A lot of it got off screen.
Off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like because they showed the dude with the hammer. Because remember they had like filler episodes. They showed the dude with the hammer. They showed the one with the bomb rod, the sewing needle. They did the lightning one. We never, and then of course, like when right before Guy and Kakashi left the battlefield, you saw them defeat the tiger shark dude. But we never saw Sagetsu's brother. So like it was like I just said, it was off screen.
Yeah, and then to see like because he got hyped up so much, like he was a master of all 7 swords. Like, that would have been dope to see, how they had to take him down. That would be good. But I'm trying to think of a fight that I'm like I really want to see done. I feel like the last fight for me, because I know they're probably going to cover bigger fights. I kind of want to see them redo Naruto and Killer Bee versus the Jinchuriki. I felt like that was a little underwhelming, especially when Storm 3 released and you could see the extent of what the Jinchuriki could all do. Like I'm like, this fight was a little like like it felt a little like we didn't get to see the full extent of all of their powers.
Yeah,
Which
especially
Storm
with this,
had the best fight?
especially with this Minato special with him versus Han and Roshi with 2 tail beats. It's like, come on, bro,
like they could do all this. Yeah, Jory, I think it's Storm 3. Storm 3, you fight all the Jinchuriki at once, and they just do a really good job. Like you fight them, it's kind of like a mob boss battle, and then as it rails up, they all transform, and you end up fighting just like them in their tail beast forms. So basically, like every other media besides the official anime, like usual, just did it better justice. So I would want to see
Which
them
is
kinda,
good. I mean, gives you
it's good.
a reason
It's
to
good in
go
this
to
round.
the different property.
Yeah, it's kind of what Tim has said in the previous pod, where it's like, what anime is good when the other properties kind of lead you right back to it. I think the Storm games definitely were the catalyst of a lot of that. Of like, man, this fight was great. I can't wait to see what Storm does with it. So I think that would be a thing I want to see redone. And then I guess as a bonus to your point, Jory, is the Kage versus Madara. That being off screen to me was blasphemous, a little blasphemous.
Yeah, it was unacceptable, especially when you got a guy who can do a cube particle blast and like we see nothing. It was disappointing, man.
Yeah,
It
wasn't what you were expecting from considering who was there. It wasn't what you would like. Granted, like of course they have to lose because of the plot, but just the way it got there, it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, it didn't even feel like, it should have felt like, it should have gave me the same anxiety that when Frieza says, yo, we only have 5 minutes, and if you don't beat me then, that gave me anxiety, dog. So
even before that, when Goku starts getting tired and Frieza's like, I've only been going about 50% so far, and if I ramp it up, you're done. That's anxiety. That was like, wait, huh? He's like, if I try this a little bit harder, I'll turn you into dust. Regular Goku, yeah.
Oh man, yeah. He needed that spirit bomb, boy.
Yeah.
That special. That
as kids, we were all like, please let this be it. Like, I'll put my hands to the screen. Like, please pull through.
Kid, I was singing Hey Digimon. Hey Digimon.
Like the comeback music.
Going through it, kid. Going through it, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's what that should have been. And it was off screen. All right, so good picks. I think, we'll see. I think what Tim said was important, that it's a homage, right? I think when you get to the video and they release and it's like, oh, why did they cover this fight? It's like, it's not supposed to be that. It's not a retelling. It's not a reboot. Yeah. It's just celebrating the anniversary of the series. It's gonna
and it's hopefully too late for a reboot anyway, man.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit.
After what Boruto did,
I was gonna say that's actually a pretty good segue into Boruto. It's too late to take another shot at this original series. So yeah, we can segue right into Boruto. Boruto officially announced 2 Blue Vortex, the official time skip name of Boruto. It's Tim, I think you said it's 4 years from the original series, or 3.
Yeah, it's a 4-year time skip.
Okay, so yeah, it's a 4-year time skip. I guess manga spoilers for those who don't read the manga, but basically Boruto got hit with the Genjutsu switcheroo, and now he is the outcast of the village. Naruto and Hinata are floating in whatever world, unable to age, unable to wake up. And the Phantom Zone of the Naruto world. Kawaki is now the darling child of the village. Shikamaru is the Hokage, which actually made a lot of sense. And yeah, we've seen their new time skip designs and things like that. And guys, what are our general thoughts about the time skip? People have been hyping it up for years, right? From the very first pages of the manga, from the very first episode where they show, a sneak preview of what the designs could look like of the rematch between Kawaki and Boruto. Like, how are we feeling about this reapproach now to Boruto?
I mean, I don't know what's going.
Go ahead, Joey. No, you go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the series, and it's like, what is this offering me that Naruto didn't do? It's not telling me better stories. It's not making me invested in any of the characters. A lot of the characters that are interesting are thrown to the wayside. A lot of those kids was cool. I was looking forward to seeing what they could do, but it's like this was an opportunity to like build up other characters and give them take notes from other animes that exist, make other characters make sense. Like, give them limelight. I didn't see none of that being done. I don't fully understand. I'm not really rocking with the alien thing going around, but it's too late now. So I might as well just accept it.
Yeah.
It's
a sci-fi manga now.
It's like you have robots. The technological aspect of you not having to do a jutsu thing was cool, but I just didn't feel like it was handled right. Like the movie handled it.
They didn't do anything with it
flawlessly. They didn't do anything with it. So, it would have been interesting having a conflict of like, the new age ninja, like, these ninja are like, they don't even do jutsus. They just pop out a scroll, kid, and the scroll does everything for them. That would, because it has a blood sample already imbued inside the writing, and all you have to do is just activate it with your own chakra. None of that. all and to Boruto could have been something amazing, but there's nothing that the series has done to make me like, yo, we need this. You know,
Mm.
this is the next evolution of ninja. Oh man, like kind of like in history, we have ages where like, yo, if we were to go classic to classic, people we were to fight people from the 60s and 80s, we would all lose. The
Mm.
food is different. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Everything now has how much hormones in it versus the food
Mm-hmm.
they was getting. You see those jawlines in the 60s, man? That's natural. Just they put two weights, two push-ups. That's abs automatically. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm.
like now with Boruto, I don't see what is it that they're just telling me another story between Sasuke and Naruto. Now they did a genjutsu and they don't introduce anything new to it, you know, or if they do introduce it, it still falls under the same patterns that we've seen. You
Right.
know, they could have easily went like with storylines were like, okay, what happened? They could have created another Orochimaru, and what if Orochimaru's plans were succeeding? You know, his paperwork is
Mm.
still out there. Like, why is
Mm-hmm.
it you have this entire world? Nobody found Orochimaru's lab and some of the craziness he was trying to conjure up. You know,
Mm-hmm.
nobody found what's his name in the is he still even alive? Um,
Who?
white haired dude that did the suit that dead Itachi gave him the ultimate genjutsu, basically the
Kabuto.
requiem. Yeah,
Oh, Kabuto. Yeah,
Kabuto.
he's a good
Like,
guy now. He's like a
oh,
nurse.
okay.
He
Yeah.
runs an orphanage with
Yeah.
his brother.
Yeah.
So talk no jutsu. Let's do it.
Come on now. Pastor
Yeah,
Naruto.
let's do it.
Chapter
Pastor
2.
Naruto,
Come
let's
on
do
now.
it. Chapter 2, man. Let
Book
me
of
get
Redemption.
a jutsu.
Come
Go
to the
ahead, Tim,
Father.
because I don't know. Like that's my whole
All
thing,
sins
man.
before me
I'm
will be
it's
forgiven.
Boruto is a heartbroken series for me. I just
Mm.
can't do. I'm like the movie. I said, man, you know what? I think I do want more Naruto. I
Mm-hmm.
do. Then after that, it gets stranger and stranger and stranger. Like, what's the point of this jutsu? Where is it gonna go? Attack on Titan? Like, where's it going? There's no. Where's it going with this, man? That's my whole thing.
Okay, that's a
Um,
fair critique. What is it?
with me, I kind of feel this time skip is damage control. Just like how we've all said in the past, they've kind of failed to really develop these kids, and that's why I feel, especially what we're looking at in video games. Where are these kids
Mm-hmm.
outside of Boruto, Sarada, and Mitsuki? Where are these kids? Like, I felt the movie was a good introduction. I felt personally, I felt to me that should have been the last of the Otsuki. Just like how the movie did, there was no implantation of, oh, I downloaded my DNA into you, and now you're my next body. I felt that should have been the end to them, like basically the last final loose end of that particular era. And what I felt they should have focused on was this is the world after the fourth Ninja War.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were onto something. Look at when they brought back Ao as a cyborg. The man had PTSD, bro. He had PTSD from the war.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even when Shikamaru saw him, bro, like, you felt the emotion. Like, wow, you was the last person to saw my father alive. And that entire base was obliterated but you.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And the type of PTSD that he had, because he lost his place in the world. He didn't know where he belonged. And that is the type of mindset a lot of those ninjas have back in the day. Like basically, you could tell, especially by his age, from his era, he's probably like, I would say probably around the age of probably like a little bit after the third, or like around Naruto's dad's age if he didn't die. But it's like, bro, they were born into war. They
Mm-hmm.
were raised for war, and that's all they've ever known. So it's kind of like, yeah, you're looking for peace, but you don't even know what that really looks like, or when you get it, you don't even know what to do.
Yeah,
And look
you don't
what
know what
became.
times
Well,
of
look
peace
what
are.
became of him.
Mm-hmm.
And then even in terms of, like look how like when they went to the Hidden Mist Village, bro, that was a good example. Like, wow, this world is different. Back in the day, if you'd have come here from another village, you would have been dead. on site. But then it's like they just kind of the scaling was off, man. The scaling was off. It's like 1 minute you got these super Genin, and next thing you know, they're not really super. And then there was one mission where they went to the hidden sound when they fought those clay clones. Like that could have been a real push. Because like I remember the only person who gained logic from that fight was Shikamaru's son. While everybody was cheering on, like, yes, we saved the day, he was like, what are y'all cheering about? We almost died. Look at all these Jonin and Chunin who are higher level than us. Look how they just got wiped out. Like we barely won. That is not a victory. Like he said straight to his teammates, we are weak. So like there could have been multiple catalysts of, to go back to Jory's point of what is a new age ninja? Like even with the ninja tech. Yes, like I feel like Kara minus the Otsuki connection could have made sense.
They're good
Cyborg
villains.
ninjas. Cyborg ninjas like look at Delta. The woman can literally just kid boo kick the floor. Next thing you know, you're impaled.
Yeah.
Boro releases a chakra virus that absorbs your life force and Clone Jiraiya.
I mean,
Jiraiya,
Clone Jiraiya, but also with a unique take on fire style, right? Like, you know, instead of just Hanjutsu Society summoning the deep fires of the Toad Village Sonic, you know, like it's different. It's a different take. Yeah,
Hellfire. He's summoning Hellfire. That's what he is doing. But then it's like, and that's what I'm saying, like, bro, like it's so many interesting concepts, and that's why I kind of feel like this skip is basically saying, like, all right, we're getting to the bread and butter, what we originally wanted to do, and this is gonna save it because, like, when I really look at it, bro, like, look, with the games, which is probably one of their biggest products, you're not going to put a lot of Boruto characters in it because most of the interesting characters are filler characters. So you're basically stuck in the framework of what happened in the movie and whatever big cinematic pieces happen. But then it's like, bro, like there's so many characters. And then even in certain fights, that's when these kids kind of develop. Like Sarada didn't really use lightning jutsu until they went to that hidden miss village. She didn't really use lightning like that. And, you know, of course, like Choji's daughter using the butterfly mode as a gimmick. Like we still didn't even know like the full extent of Metal Lee's power and stuff like that. Jin, like when they had the second Chunin exam, like to really redo after what Momoshiki did, like you found out like the people who they picked as Chunin makes good sense, but you're never going to really see that.
Yeah.
You're never going to really see the fruits of that because look, bro, it's a 4-year time skip. I'm pretty sure none of those kids are getting now. None of them. So like I said, man, it kind of goes back. It is damage control, but I just hope that, you know, the source material changes up a bit because that's what happened, you know, with the third trilogy from Star Wars. It was literally just a copy and paste of the original trilogy. Oh, here's a ice planet that's not really ice, but is actually salt. And here's Imperial walkers about to ruin their day. Oh, Empire Strikes Back all over again, huh? Oh, yeah, Palpatine is back. And next thing you know, he has a master plan. He has a master plan with a bunch of Star Destroyers that are actually Death Stars, and they're going to all blow you up. Oh,
that's man.
The Return of the Jedi.
Palpatine. Raiden.
It was Raiden
beaming the starships from space and then flying. Dog, kids, Snoke. They built Snoke up to just get cut in half. Not even Darth Maul honor.
To get not even cut honor in half in a blurred background,
because he put the lightsaber next to him. Dog, and then what's her name? Leia. All of a sudden, it's Kryptonian.
Well, you know, in her defense, yes, she was always force sensitive. They did hint it at the end of the Battle of Endor, but yes. But then when you look at it, bro, it's a time skip, bro. So obviously, yes, my brother did teach me some things.
Yeah, but we spoke about this, bro. There's a difference between being force sensitive and being able to fly through the vacuum of space. I don't care.
Homie. After space, homie. Yo,
after your
Ebony
body starts
Maw didn't
freezing
even
over.
survive that.
Yeah,
Ebony
you
Maw.
open your eyes and just very popping the Clyde your way.
Two different properties, bro. Two different properties.
And they go join the
Star
universes
Wars,
now, man. Come on, man. Yo.
Star Wars and Marvel, two different
Okay,
Oh
universes,
my
all right,
bro.
gosh,
all right,
man.
fair enough. All right, okay, all right, fair. All right, we'll get back on topic. I'll give my thoughts. My issue with Boruto and to Tim's point, I do hope that the time skip fixes this. Is that I think they were focused on the end goal too quickly, right? So I don't even necessarily mind that the aliens still had a presence. I think making them the driving plot of Boruto was the problem, right? So let's just say in this scenario, cool, Momoshiki imprints himself on Boruto. You understand that there's other Otsuki properties out there. Cool. Kara's power up is through the aliens. Cool. All of this is fine. The fact of the matter is that you go into this back to back to back to back. So it's like, to Jory's point, he had this really cool concept about using ninja scrolls and technology, and the way what happens with Cyborg Ninja gets thrown to the side immediately, right? Instead of fighting the super cyborg villain, thrown to the side immediately. Then you get into, these evil kids essentially that have these broken alien powers. But these powers are so broken that no one else can fight them except for other alien influenced ninja, right? So it's like, rather than having, again, a longer build up where, like, yes, you could have Naruto and Sasuke involved because now the stakes are high enough. You have it where this kid, if he looks at you the wrong way, you die. You have Code who can make a zip line in anything, right? It's like they're so overpowered that, like, to your point, Tim, it makes all the other kids irrelevant. What can they possibly do in this situation? Like, the powers are just so broken. And I think another part that influences that, and I don't know how they're going to fix it with the time skip, I guess that's why they ended up depowering them, before the time skip happened. Naruto and Sasuke are involved way too much, way too often. At this point, it's like, for as many times that people kind of have their gripes and complaints with how Goku and Vegeta get utilized, I think, for example, Superhero is a good example of what happens when you need to sideline your big protagonist characters. At this point, Goku and Vegeta are too strong for them to be struggling against your everyday villain. It doesn't make sense if they're fighting with Gohan and Piccolo against the androids while they're also struggling. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you have Naruto and Sasuke, who are essentially god level at this point in the ninja world, if you pull them out for the fight against Delta, if you pull them out for the fight against every single person, it's like, bro, no one in their class can compete. You know what I'm saying? Like, Naruto and Sasuke are one of ones when it comes to power level. You use them for Jigen, you use them for Ishiki, and that's it. That's it. You don't bring them out for these other things. You know what I'm saying? You use them for boss level threats.
Yeah, because you saw what happened with Sasuke in that filler when he fought that other Otsuki Yorishiki.
He got embarrassed.
When they had the little time, the time
travel foolishness.
It's like, bro, so he basically was just a basic level ninja, bro.
Yeah.
It's like, I was like, so all of a sudden he just has no chakra through this entire arc. I was like, okay.
Sasuke was there for support only. Sasuke was there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my issue. It's like, you have to essentially nerf him because otherwise it doesn't make sense. There's no struggle. You know what I'm saying? This is someone who's fought Madara, who's fought Kaguya, who's fought Momoshiki. Like, these are the ones you hold back for your Friezas and your Kid Boos and your Beeruses. You don't bring them into every single fight because what else can you do? That's why that meme went around for so long of was it Momo Boruto or Shiki Boruto, whatever they're calling him when he gets possessed, of him stabbing Sasuke in the eye. Like, how is this even possible, bro? How could this little kid catch Sasuke of all people off guard, other than plot armor? And that's I think that's just something that I hope gets rectified with the time skip. Like, okay, you've nerfed Naruto, you've sidelined Naruto literally. You've nerfed Sasuke. Focus back on these characters. Stop going back to the alien route. Stop going back to getting these boss level characters involved out the gate. Let the kids, who this series is supposedly about, take the reins. Let Boruto, Sarada, Kawaki, and the rest of the class carry the story. There should have been, in my opinion, missions where they team up with Kiba. They team up with Shino. They team up with
Yeah. I mean,
Rock Lee. Like things where it's
Konohamaru.
like
What did they do to
right,
Konohamaru?
right. Things where it's like there's stakes, right? So like, and again, there's moments of it, right? Konohamaru versus Jugo. We didn't know we needed it, but it makes sense. It makes sense. Konohamaru is a Jonin level ninja. We need to see examples of that. Can he take on a curse mark user? Apparently he can. You know what I'm saying? Things like that where it's like the stakes kind of raised bit by bit, but also showcase what these people are capable of. Again, if everything goes to Kurama mode out the gate, everything else is irrelevant, bro. Nothing else,
Now,
no one else is important.
and then what they could like, even with the aliens, they didn't even have to do that. If they did wanted to, they were like, yo, like you have so much lore out there. That's why I respect Tim understanding, and Tim, you'll be a great storyteller because you respect lore. Lore creates a story in itself. Once you have a world, you have a story. You could do pockets of information here, pockets of information there. The curse mark users. Well, what would happen if the technology guy saw that, and this is now the next evolution of ninja? For let's say now you have different factions. They have their own way and means of activating power. You got your cyber clan, you got the curse mark users, then you got your classic ninjas. What do they know? You know what I'm saying? They're restricted by hand signs, and they're on the schedule. Like curse mark users, they probably just gotta lose by getting fatigued. Then what if the curse mark users know jutsus and whatever? You feel me? You have so many things. What happened to that ultimate jutsu Pain wanted to develop? No R&D research behind that.
True.
Yeah. You remember that when he was talking to Jiraiya?
That was his plan was to get the tail beast so he can make his own jutsu.
He wanted to create like Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
Oppenheimer, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Like, what if there's a village who saw all of this, an unknown village? The samurais are like, yo, we can't do after what happened to us. We can't do. No, we have to transform. And the samurais, now they a threat beyond threats. You had like, yo, there's different factions. Like the world of Naruto, man, could have been something spectacular. What happens if we go across the seas and now we introduce different people who don't even use chakra. They use royal armor. You had so many,
or just like
you turn
a spiritualist, right? Like for example, like they have all these sage mode users. You know what I'm saying? Hashirama is a sage mode user. Of what? From where?
Yeah.
Or they're going to never bring this up again. Okay, sure.
Then you find out, like, yo, the reason why Rock Lee was so powerful in Taijutsu, that's the base form of where it actually came from.
True,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
everyone knows about the gates, but nobody knows how they originated. They're just like, yeah, the gates. Oh, he knows the gates.
That's something
how did the gates come to be?
Like you have so many things you could do with. I'm just like, yo, I don't understand. Because I'm scratching my head. I said, man, they just threw out Pain's ultimate jutsu. Don't you think other countries would want this information? And that's the whole tragedy about it's just not well thought out, man. Like when you say, because they're so fixed on like you don't have to create another Naruto struggling with best friendship and theme anymore. You can do something completely different.
I mean, even to Tim's point with Aoi, or however his name is pronounced, it's like a world that deals with a war-torn countryside. Perfect. What happens to kids who are the byproduct of war, people who are the byproduct of war? How does a country who was used as a battlefield now rebuild? Right? That was something that was kind of talked about a little bit with the Hidden Rain. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, and they just completely just blew it over. Like the Hidden Rain is literally just a war-torn battlefield from the last war that nobody cares about, and it just has like a bunch of orphans there, and it's kind of like, and that's why like even the politics of the ninja world, a lot of people are like, yes, the 5 great villages are doing good, but then you don't really realize like after the war there was a certain amount of people who left those villages and they became rogues, or they just didn't have loyalty to their villages anymore, or certain people of smaller villages have like disdain to the 5 great nations because of they kind of look at like, even though technically it was mostly the Hidden Leaf.
I was about to say the Hidden Leaf should have more enemies than they do. All of the tragedies came out of the Leaf Village.
No, but then to be honest, bro, that's why Kakashi took care of all those problems during his era, bro. Like that's the reason why he probably didn't
Mm,
take no second term, is because that boy is tired, bro. Because he basically he was politics.
he was on an
He was like,
apology tour his
hey,
entire
yo,
reign.
hey, hey,
Yeah.
hey,
What and then what
yeah,
happened to
man.
Yamato?
He's on
Oh,
Orochimaru babysitting duty for the rest of his life.
for the rest of his life.
This entire story arc is him babysitting Orochimaru, the clone of the first Hokage.
Well, not technically clone, but
Well, you know what I'm saying. Oh, not like a literal clone, but
the first child that didn't die.
right. The only surviving wood style user is babysitting Orochimaru. So,
Ambu
yeah,
Black Ops means nothing.
no. I mean, to be fair, they didn't mean anything during the original series. They always got one-shotted anytime anything happened.
Yeah,
They had really cool masks,
yeah.
and that was about it. Like they
Yeah,
got
bro. Yeah, because
swatted.
Kabuto took out so many of them, bro. Like it was like
Yeah, it was
whatever.
embarrassing. It was- okay, so
Yeah.
I guess unless you guys have any closing thoughts on that, I guess we'll see. Right when it comes to the time skip, we'll see if if it's able to save Boruto. I think it's a great segue into the actual the games, right? Of
I doubt it.
how well, no, I mean segue in the sense of like you were seeing that Storm Connections is like you can't sell a Boruto game without Naruto at this point. Like the game, like the storyline isn't strong enough. Like you
Yeah.
have to
Yeah.
revisit Naruto stuff in order for the game to sell.
And that's why I was saying, bro. Like if they want to get away from Shippuden or even post time skip centric stuff, or not even like dabble into Boruto, they could have tapped into the last era.
Hmm.
Because at least with the last era, we would have got updated characters that we wanted.
Hmm.
And of course, like it had interesting villains, bro. Like first of all, you got Toneri out the gate, who you could finally make him an official character.
Right. He's
And
only the other sage's reincarnation, but whatever, right? He only has his own hidden forbidden jutsu and an entire chakra mode, but hey, whatever. Canon character, essential to the
and then
storyline.
you have so many novels released about, oh, like this person learned this jutsu, this person learned that jutsu. It would have been interesting to bring all of that to life, bro.
Hmm. So I mean, let's just get into it proper, right? Storm Connections finally launched a trailer. We have an official release date. It's coming out in November. We don't know for a fact if this is the final roster, but there's a lot of things hinting that if it's not, it's pretty close. They've already started rolling out the collector's editions pre-orders and this and that, and even at Gamescom, you're playing with the almost pretty much final build of the game and things like that, right? So Kara officially got introduced. We're getting a whole bunch of villains. I guess they kind of skipped over Indra and Asura's rollout. They're just kind of just there, but they're in the game. We got a couple of updates, right? There was the Twitter rollout first, but now it's officially in the trailer of Mitsuki getting an update and Sarada now having a team ultimate with her parents and her having a new ultimate jutsu, right? And essentially we're at 10 new technical characters and a couple of revampings. And as Jory had mentioned before I started recording the pod, Tim and I had a moment. We had a field day in the group chat about the way Storm Connections has been rolled out, the way everything with this franchise has been handled as of late. I'm gonna say my rant for last because I have a bit of a solo on me for just the history of everything with CyberConnect 2. But Tim, we'll start with you. What are your thoughts on the Storm Connections rollout, announcements, gameplay, all of it?
Copy and paste. Copy and paste. Because first of all, their biggest parts of promotion was just showing us old ultimates, and I was like, okay, so the signing not updated.
Nope.
Oh, here comes the new Momoshiki
Awakening
Awakening,
design.
Sarada's new ultimate, and oh, Mitsuki finally has Sage mode. Oh yes, we're introducing revised characters. Revised, but you know who needs a whole revise? Konoha 11.
The entire Storm 2 roster, to be honest.
The entire Storm 2 roster needs revised, and of course, and then oh yeah, then you're bringing us all these god level tier characters, but it's like, bro, you still owe us like 8 characters from the war, which was
Mm-hmm.
Storm 3.
Mm-hmm.
Pinnacle characters, by the way. It's kind of like reminded me when Storm 1 skipped Zabuza and Haku and went straight to the Chunin exam. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, how do you skip the Saiyan saga of Naruto? How? And we didn't really get them to the third installment, which was Generations.
Mm-hmm.
Even they need updates, bro. It's like, bro, Zabuza, bro. You mean to tell me the original hidden Mist Ninja, this is the vastness of his entire arsenal. Okay.
Hiding in
Okay.
the Misjutsu and a sword swing. Ooh la la.
That is it. I was like, bro, like y'all are, and that's the thing, bro. It's like y'all just spitting on so much source material, bro. Like the first original Ultimate Ninja series had some of the absolute best Ultimates out there in the world, bro. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was peak creativity.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like when this new story, like after Storm 1, they just kind of started coasting, bro. And it's like, and then even when you look at these new Team Ultimates, who are very very long, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So you mean to tell me that those Ultimates that y'all took out, those people can't get those back? Because last time I checked, there's a Kotsky Team Ultimate. Like you looking at your watch, like, are you done yet?
Oh boy.
Because
Keep
I'm pretty
going.
sure the person is dead by the second person attacking. Like,
By the
but
time Sasori and Itachi has lit him on fire, I'm pretty sure he's died. But yeah, go on. And they're only
but
step 2 of the ultimate.
yeah, so it's kind of like, bro, it's a lot of copy and paste, man, and that's why, like I was saying, like we mentioned earlier, like Storm 3 should have been the game where a lot of revamps should have happened, a lot of revisions, and it's possible, bro, because look at Fighter Z in this latest patch, bro. They're adding attacks, they're adding combos. Tekken adds combos, and Under Night gives you. It's like, bro, everybody gives these characters new combos,
Mm-hmm.
but y'all. But you guys,
Mm-hmm.
and when you really look at it, bro, it's very very unfair, very very unfair. And then it's like, oh man, it just gets real disgusting. And then some of the character decisions that they make, like for example, like Naruto's mother, one of the last original Prime era Uzumakis, and this is what you turn her into.
She's
Pre-time
Iruka,
skip
a joke
Sakura,
character. Yeah.
Pans, a joke character, even Reen, like you mean to tell me a child who was born in war and who basically her teammates were ace level ninjas. Like you had one kid who was a Jonin before he was even 10 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one somewhat of a prodigy, but not really there because you already got the genius out there, and then your sensei is the next candidate for Hokage, and you mean to tell me this girl just throws logs?
Yeah.
No,
Yep.
no,
And her awakening is a
no.
copy and paste of the third Mizukage. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, bro, like, come on, bro. Like, even with Sakura, pre-time skip, it's like, bro, y'all took the tuning exam a little bit too seriously, bro. You need to take some. You need it because that movie when they fought them hidden snow ninja, like, no, y'all need to take some inspiration from that.
Yes. Yeah, with the explosive cherry blossom bombs and things like that.
Bro, come on, bro. And
Mm-hmm.
that was the biggest thing between like Sakura and Ino. Sakura was cherry blossom. Ino was the poisonous wolf's bane. It's like, come
Mm-hmm.
on, bro. There's so much source material that you could have pulled all of this stuff from. And then it's like, even in terms of like, yeah, Storm 2, like, bro, you went from Ino had basically this wolf's bane tornado to just a kick
A chakra kick at that.
for a chocolate kit for Storm 2. It's like, bro, come on. Like, it's just so many things, so many missteps, man. And then like, yes, as of now, your biggest selling point for new characters is these god tier characters. Like, if it's not a Rasengan or a Hurricane looking ultimate, it's like there's nobody, or a laser beam.
Yep. Everything ends in
So
an
that's where
explosion,
like
bro.
that's where
Everything.
you were kind of just confirming me, like, all right, so yeah, these kids are not in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, because even with Mitsuki, you had to give Mitsuki all his, like, you finally gave him his lightning jutsus. I was like, so he only has his wind chakra? Like, there's no snake lightning, there's no sage jutsu, no nothing? Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh no, he just stretches his arms and throws wind at you.
and his awakening is as generic as possible until now.
Until now.
I mean, he did
So
get a
it's
new
kind of,
ultimate, I guess, something.
yeah. So it's like, yeah, like, when they did the whole revised section, I was like, well, all right, well, who else? Nobody. And then you could definitely tell by this card trailer, like, yeah, that's it for the characters, because right after that card trailer, they pulled out the season pass. 5 characters. So you basically told me, yeah, the cyborgs, they're the last characters. Have a good day.
Tim, when you put
Seventy
your season
dollars.
pass predictions in the chat, I laughed because I'm like, I think you're actually 1,000% right, and that's what made me laugh harder. When I saw Konohamaru as a DLC character, I was like, this is something else, yo. This is something else.
Oh
This is
man.
something else, yo. He had a completely finished character model. He's a part of a Team Ultimate in Storm 4, but boy, he's not in the base roster.
He
This
should
is
have been in the Road to
amazing.
Boruto DLC, because when you play the story mode for Road to Boruto, he's in it. And like how you said, like he has a Team Ultimate already, so he should have been in the game already. He should have been when they brought in Kenshiki and Momoshiki. But it's like, so yeah, it's crazy,
Okay.
man.
Okay.
It's crazy.
Jory, any thoughts? Because I got a rant.
Oh man. I mean, I just feel sorry for y'all boys, man, because I know y'all care, man, and they don't care that you care. They don't care that you care, man. They don't care that you care. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So it's like,
Uh-huh.
oh man, okay, I ain't gonna lie, man. You've got your Joe Budden cap on. Go ahead.
Okay. All right.
It's your goal,
I'll
man.
I'll I'll start with some praise. I legitimately think we would not have anime games on the scale that we do without CyberConnect 2. I think in a lot of ways they are the NetherRealm Studios up until a point of the anime fighting game industry. They revolutionized arena fighters for anime games. They revolutionized what it means to have over-the-top attacks and movesets and things like that. I think a lot of when you look at how, for example, Jump Force was handled or the One Punch Man game was handled, you can see in a lot of ways that CyberConnect 2 is tiers ahead of these other anime fighting competitors. So I want to give them their props. They, as Tim has said it multiple times on this podcast, and so have I, the original Ultimate Ninja Storm series carried us through our teen years. Like, those games were every time Ultimate Ninja Storm dropped, day one purchase, because you already knew what time it was, ultimate wise, character wise, jitsu wise, creativity wise. They were setting the bar. Now, where things went left for me and continue to go left and got us to this point is, I don't know if you guys remember, there was a time during the PS2, Xbox, and Wii era, right, where they were making on the GameCube and Wii, they were making the Clash of Ninja series, and then Xbox took a shot with Naruto with the Rise of the Ninja and then Broken Bonds, right? And to me, I love that era because it forced competitiveness between the developers, right? It's like you would see what Clash of Ninja was doing. And yeah, it was more of a technical fighter, right? They didn't have like over the top fighting styles and things like that, but you could combo easier, right? Rise of the Ninja, it showed what it would like if you had like a Naruto style RPG of like here's a semi-open world and these characters that you could do, and you actually had to weave jutsu signs for some of these attacks, right? And it lets you know what you could do more with the Naruto franchise versus the Ultimate Ninja series, which was a little bit more simple and dumbed down at the time. So what happens after that? Now you start getting combos in the Storm series. Now there's an action adventure mode in the Storm series. Surprise, surprise. That kind of mimics what they were doing in Rise of the Ninja because CyberConnect 2 had inspiration and had somebody to compete with. Then what happens? Xbox stops making the Naruto games, right? They kind of give up on the anime properties, and the Clash of Ninja series stops being made. So at that point, it just was solely on the back of CyberConnect 2 to carry the Naruto franchise. And that is literally where the laziness started, right? Storm 1, cool, right? Ultimate Ninja Storm 1, cool. Like Tim said, they skipped the Zabuza arc. You don't get the Sound Ninja 4, which is a key part of that entire storyline. Okay, they had to make a whole new combat system, whole new graphics, whatever. It's a beautiful looking game, even to this day, right? It kind of revolutionized the graphics at that time. Okay, you give it a pass. Storm 2, Ultimates get simpler. It's their first time going online. But boy, that story mode was sexy. Boy, even the original fight of the revised test of Naruto and Sakura versus Kakashi, I had never seen anything like that in an anime game. It's beautiful, right? So, okay, we focus more on making the story mode for games, for anime games. The fighting took a backseat. Generations drops, right? You try to make amends for the fighting system. You bring in the substitution gauge. Here comes Zabuzu and Haku. The Hokages are in, right? All these key characters that were kind of missing the first two games are back. All right, it looks like we're back on CyberConnect 2 getting their creativity back. But then we get to Storm 3. And Storm 3, you're skipping massive parts of the story mode. Anyone who is not named Naruto or Sasuke, good luck and goodbye. Because you will never see an update again. Key villains. If you're not an Uchiha, forget about it. The blast style user and fire style user from the war, forget about it. Any ultimates that you had that you legit use in the war, forget about it. Cool, we get the Jinchuriki. All right, that was admittedly pretty cool, right? We're getting these different things, and oh look, creativity, because the Jinchuriki did like 2 things in the manga. Now they have this whole moveset based off that, right? Roshi uses an entire molten lava style jutsu technique. Oh, okay, cool, right? I'm like, all right, a little bit of hope. Then they drop Full Burst, which is basically the HD version of Storm 3. And I said, okay, the director's cut, right? We'll get the characters we didn't get in the first couple of the games. They'll update the graphics, yada, yada, yada. What did we get? We got better graphics, 1 extra boss fight, and Sage Mode Kabuto. And I said, okay. Looks like a bit of worry, but all right. Again, complete faith in them. Then Ninja Storm Revolution drops. And I remember Tim and I, we had a couple conversations about it leading up to the game's release, because they wanted to do something new, Jory. They wanted to do something new with that system. Every character was getting a type. You could be an awakening mode type, an ultimate jutsu type, or a support type. So I said, okay, a little different, but maybe it would allow them to kind of revamp some of these characters, right? Because it's true. Not every character is going to be an overpowered ultimate jutsu user. Fine. What happens? If you were not a character named Naruto or Sasuke, you got nothing. So if you were an awakening type, let's just say like Shino, you got two new jutsu, the same exact moveset. This is 4 games deep now. You've had the same moveset since 2010. Right? Then we get to Storm 4. Ultimate jutsus for everybody. Everyone's getting a team ultimate jutsu. The Akatsuki, the Team 11, all the villains. Everyone's getting a team jutsu. Who gets new movesets? Naruto, Sasuke, Kakashi. Everyone else has had the same moveset now for 6 games. And I said to myself, it's kind of odd. Kind of odd that in a fighting game franchise where you're the leader, that you're not updating any other characters not named Naruto and Sasuke. I mean, I get it. They're the draw, right? They make the most sense. But your whole argument is like, how do we update these characters if they don't do anything new? I'm like, well, you gave us a Sasuke whose only contribution in the movie was blowing up a meteor with 1 Chidori. He didn't do anything else. He didn't fight anybody. He didn't throw a punch. He blew up a rock and dipped and got a brand new moveset. So I said, okay, we're not going to get everything, right? Let's just focus on what we do get. They announced some DLC. We're getting season passes. Cool. We get the Sound Ninja 4 after 6 games of waiting, right? We get Boruto characters.
6 games.
After 6.
The main characters of an entire arc. Like, bro, Storm 1, when we had to fight Kibimaru how many times? And it's like...
5 times in a row.
Support
no, 6 times in a row. Right?
So they're just support characters. Okay.
Yeah. So you get the Sound Ninja 4 after 6 games of waiting. I said, okay. Road to Boruto. I'm like, oh, okay. So they'll kind of fix the things again, like kind of like Full Burst. They'll fix the things that they didn't have time for in Storm 4. Okay, Momoshiki drops. Okay, where's Kinshiki? Oh, he's not in the game.
Both of them weren't in the game.
No, I'm getting there. Oh, so Momoshiki's playable. No, Momoshiki's not playable either. Okay. Toneri? Because he wasn't in Storm 4. Yeah, no, he's not playable either. But Naruto has his last costume and a moveset. So does Sasuke. So does Hinata, who were all the main characters in the movie. Yeah, no, we didn't put him in the game. Okay. And not to mention, now that I remember, Storm 3, remember, Tim? We didn't even get the other Kages in Storm 3. They didn't come to Revolutions.
No, they didn't come to the full burst DLC.
No, they weren't in full burst. They were in Revolution. They weren't in Storm 3 at all. That's another thing I forgot, Jory. So in Storm 3, you know when Naruto fought the Hokage's dad, they fought the mummy Hokage and the clan Mizukage. They are not in the game of Storm 3. Even though you fight Madara. Even though you fight them technically in the game. They're not. You can't pick them as characters. Right?
That's crazy.
So again, you start thinking to yourself, okay, with full burst, DLC, all this stuff, they'll put them in afterwards. No. So now, here we are at Storm Connections. 10 new characters. It's not a full Storm series. We're not getting a new story mode based off the anime franchise. This is a chance for Storm to come right back to the competitive limelight. And what do we get? Like Tim said, copy and paste. Sasuke has done every Amaterasu jutsu under the sun at this point. They're one combo away from him having shoot firing out of his feet at this point. He's done everything. Meanwhile, this man has done ice release, yin yang release, earth release, all the types of releases. Oh, fire style and Amaterasu. A couple Chidoris, a couple lightning styles, Susanoo to the max. He's done nothing new since Boruto started, and he's a brand new character. Meanwhile, God help you if you're a Jugo fan. He's still in the pajamas that he was in from Storm 2. Karin still uses perfume spray as her jutsu from a game that dropped in 2010. Enough is enough. It's over. It's over. Connection to me, it's one of those things. No company is exempt from this. I don't want to say that CyberConnect 2 is the only one that does this type of thing, but this is what happens when you have too much and too long of a run at the top. When you get to set the standard for everybody else and no one can challenge you, like you said earlier, Jory, before I started, they don't care that you care. It is what it is. Here's what we're giving you. Either you buy it or you go back to Storm 4. And to me, I'm like, I don't know why we continue to accept this from them. When I see the Kakarot DLC, and they're like, yeah, surprise, guys. We made Kid Goku playable in the story mode. We made Tien playable in the story mode. We gave Goku brand new moves in the story mode. Oh, dope. Can I use this outside the DLC even though I bought it? No, but they're there. Like, it's not like a cutscene. You put it in the game. It's a gameplay mechanic. You just have to put it in the main game. No. You made Nimbus faster, though, in the DLC. Is he fast in the main game, too? Can I use Nimbus in the main? No. DLC only. Okay. Demon Slayer. Oh, wow. Oh, man, all these new characters. So are we getting updates on all the characters, or what's happening? Yeah, so how would you guys feel about playing as a fourth playable Tanjiro? Because he's basically our Naruto, and if you've seen our Naruto games, there's like 8 versions of Naruto every time he does a new jutsu. Sound good? Sound good. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. It's crazy to me. Like I said, this is, as somebody who comes, of course, it's me being a fan. I've never watched a game company who's clearly had such a passionate love for a franchise phone it in the way they do with Naruto at this point. Like, if it's not the anime, I'm like, this game franchise is proof to what Jory has said a couple podcasts. Like, this might be the beginning of the end of Naruto. Naruto might be going the ways of Bleach. Of, like, you just slowly falling out of relevancy just because of choices that you're making at this point. I've seen nothing from Connections that says, I should buy this game day one. Nothing. And that's my rant.
Six games, you say?
6 games.
6 games. And they've only updated.
Yeah. If your name is not Naruto, Sasuke, or Kakashi, not sure what to tell you. No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, if your name is not Naruto, Sasuke, or Kakashi, don't know. Not sure what. What do you mean Kiba has a new jutsu? Yeah, no, we gave him a Team Ultimate. What do you want us to do? Yeah, the three-headed Cerebus, right? Yeah, no, that's Team Ultimate Jutsu. DLC. Go ahead and buy it. Okay. Yeah, Hinata got, powers handed down to her just like Naruto and Sasuke did, and now she has access to Sage of Six Paths Jutsu with her Gentle Palm style. Oh, cool. Is it in the game? No. It's a costume, but her moveset's the same.
Is the first Hokage in the game or no? Still
no. The second Hokage is in. The dad's in the game now. Yeah,
the one with the finger.
Yeah, okay. He's in the game.
Okay,
he's in the game now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Bandage Man.
Okay. They're in the game now. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember all those amazing jitsu that the current Hokages were doing? Sorry, the current Kages were doing against the Madara fight? Yeah. Not in the game. They don't have a Team Ultimate. Yeah.
Got you. Mm-hmm. The Kages don't have a Team Ultimate?
No.
The ones that fought Madara don't have at all? Wow.
Not a thing. Dang. Tsunade, who carried them through the fight, has the same moveset from 2010.
We were
Sakura has access to more of her jutsu than she does in the game.
We were in college. Wow. 2010? Halo Reach Drop. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, guys. I'm so sorry. Wow. My goodness.
Mm-hmm.
6 games.
6 games.
That's crazy, man.
Which is why, to this day, I've never understood the fighters' backlash of having too many Gokus. I'm like, listen, as somebody who's been a Storm fan for as long as I have, at least they all fight differently.
Well, the reason for that being is, it's like, it's Goku. You like, let that be a style. At this point, it has to be. What else are you gonna do?
But
unless
that's the
it's
thing.
Like a special Goku that's like from a uniquely different era. Like a Kid Goku makes sense,
Right, but that's the thing. They were willing to embrace the styles of Goku, right? Like GT Goku doesn't fight the same way as Super Goku. Super Goku doesn't fight the same way as Namek Goku. They embrace the styles.
Yeah.
In Storm? No. Nope. No. What has Ino done that would warrant a new moveset? Why should she not have a chakra kick 6 games in? I don't know. She has an adult version. Like Tim said, there's things that they've done in filler and movies and your previous games where she could do way more. Just take some of that and put it in HD. No. Why not revise some of these legendary characters that you went and put in the game? The Sonnen, they had ultimates from the first Storm game. Why not just put those ultimates back in this game? No. Anko, Kurenai, Adoko no Hamaru? No. No.
No Shizune. No Danzo's Kage guard. No Titsukage's guard. No Mizukage guard. It's like, bro, like Storm 3 skipped a lot of characters.
A lot. Storm 3, to me, Storm 3 was the beginning of the end. That was when it was like, oh, okay.
When they made Jinkaku and Kinkaku like a character model, but no moveset whatsoever, and unplayable, it's like, all right. So you basically got 2 of the most notorious cloud ninjas.
Yeah.
Who are responsible for killing the second Hokage.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who will basically have 9-tailed chakra.
They killed the second Hokage?
Yeah. They killed the second Hokage. And they have these ancient ninja tools from Hagoromo's era.
Right, not just any ancient ninja tools. The Sage of the Six Paths ninja tools.
Ninja tools.
Non-playable characters.
Non-playable character.
Wow.
Oh, but the guy who beats him, he's in the game.
Yeah.
Who's
Dari,
that?
Daru.
the Black Lightning Panther user, he's in the game.
He beats the people that killed the second Hokage.
Technicality. He almost
Te-
got killed.
He almost dies.
technically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he almost.
Yeah. To Tim's point in the group chat, you have Donzo's guards, one who is basically Shino's cousin, right? Shino's cousin, who is a taijutsu bug user, whose bugs instantly poison you upon touching you. The moveset makes itself, in my opinion.
Destroys you on a cellular level.
Not in the game. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
So-
man. That's
I cap all that to say I don't care how many ground bounces they add to the game. I don't care what combinations that we're seeing online. I don't care all the new quote unquote avenues that you guys say gets opened up now that they've added their tilt skills as a second jutsu. I don't care. We're not, the Storm franchise, as far as I'm concerned, is dead. It's over. Connections was their last hope. It's done. There's nothing to me that they can do based on what we've seen so far that can redeem this game. And people are going to say, oh no, like you're wilding out. You could do all this. Are you really so mad because they didn't add your favorite character? It's not that they didn't add my favorite character. It's the fact that they don't add any characters. They only add characters that, like Tim said, fit a certain model. If you cannot make a Susanoo or a Rasengan style jutsu, my friend, you are not in the game. Now, please buy this for $70.
70 now.
Yeah.
Wow. That's It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Any thoughts before we move on? Because I've been holding that to my chest since the trailer dropped. I've been sitting and marinating on it all week.
At least we finally got the Jiraiya that we wanted.
Right, and his clone, fantastic, with Sage mode at that. Can you believe it, Tim? And would you look at that, a complete new moveset after he awakens? Wow, funny, crazy how that looked, and a team ultimate. That makes sense, man. Who would have thought?
A team ultimate that they never did together.
Yeah, because they never fought alongside each other. But wow,
Yeah.
you know, God forbid we got, I don't know, an ultimate with Minato, Jiraiya, Naruto. No, you know, it's just too much to ask, right? You know, this is just
Wow.
And then another thing is you gave Naruto, the Uzumaki family, an ultimate from a movie that he only did with his dad.
Oh, let's not forget that they had movie villains in the original Ultimate Ninja games, and they never made it to the Storm games. There's the buddy from the
Great
first
movie.
movie who used the ice dragon style. Out of the game. Yeah. To your point, Jory, they used chakra suits that boosted their chakra and powers and reduced the damage that they received from chakra attacks. Concept that actually made a lot of sense in the movie. Not in the game. So that's all I got. I again, if y'all have anything, we can move on. I was like, I wanted to wait to just give my perspective on the pod. No? Everybody cool?
Yeah, I'm cool, man. I'm cool, man.
So, yeah. All right. All right. So, moving right along. We also got some other trailers in this past week, some other reveals in this past week. One of them being Tekken 8. Tekken 8 now officially has a release date. It's dropping in late January. Salute to them for allowing a space for Mortal Kombat to take over the rest of the year because I think they knew what time it was. Not to say that the reveal trailer wasn't good. You know, Jory Jory has had an amazing 2 weeks in terms of character reveals. You know, Reptile confirmed the Reptile he wanted, and now Yoshimitsu apparently is making the base roster. I'm a man. I can admit when I've been wrong. To me, it made all the sense in the world for him to sell them because people will buy them. But Yoshimitsu is in the base roster of the game. Namco Bandai is going against the grain when it comes to what we expect in modern day fighters. We're getting 32 characters in the base roster. Fellas, thoughts?
I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, I still feel like Tekken is still like on a very coast, I would say. Yeah, like they've made some real interesting decisions. You know, we found Kuma has adopted the Heihachi, the Mishima fighting style. So I'm really looking forward to that. No more just paw slaps, boom. It's more of a hooah. Even his new design, I was like, okay, it's campy, yes, but I'm looking forward to it.
I actually thought it was a genius idea of like we're going to stick to our word. Heihachi's not in the game, but we have Heihachi in the game, and it fits the lore. I like that idea. I don't think it's campy at all. I think it's actually pretty well executed in my opinion. Go ahead.
Other than that, bro, I'm really interested to really see like Yoshimitsu's fighting style. They did show like his rage art, which yes, of course, it's very flashy, but what is his actual fighting style like? And I feel like that really needs to be the next trailer because that would literally. I mean, I'm gonna buy it regardless, but then I will think like, especially after what you did with Konomitsu, Kitsune or Konomitsu.
Oh, you're
I
right.
gotta check it out.
Konimitsu.
Yeah, moving forward, that needs to be the new base of Yoshimitsu. No more hand.
Okay. Well, I was told long ago that I would not see my favorite Meiji era samurai ninja in the game. You would be behind the paywall, and I just I feel a deep sense of joy as my character Yoshimitsu is now no longer part of this bundle. I get to play him, and play him I will. I think we're going to see more at the Tokyo Game Show, which is in September. That's why they didn't show us anything. Gamescom was a very, hey, just in case, let's show something. Just keep some interest and momentum up, because why else would you do that? Another interesting thing was Harada was not happy about the leaks. So he kind of like mentioned that that roster, that leak, that was a very early build. So don't think it's going to be exactly what you see here. So those remaining characters that I mentioned in the chat, they might not actually be in the game. So they might actually they might become DLC now. So you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think that's probably why they didn't show us too much as far as the fighting styles. I think we're gonna see all of that in Tokyo Game Show. But I'm happy, man. I'm excited. I love the redesign. I actually never had a problem with any of Yoshimitsu's designs, man. Even 7. A lot of people didn't like 7. I actually thought 7 was something I never seen before. And I love when I love experimenting. And then that thing was just cool to me. Tentacles, it was going for the alien, whereas many of the designs kind of go for Predator with the sword.
Yeah.
So I thought this version was cool.
And I like that they're willing to embrace that. Like that's just comes with the character. Like you're gonna get something different every time.
Something different every time. Because Yoshimitsu 1 has nothing in common with 3. Like nothing whatsoever. Yoshimitsu 4 is a beetle. You know what I'm saying? He's an insect. Insect armor. And completely different. So I think that was I'm happy, man. I think this is gonna be a very good year for me as far as me getting what I want. I think Yoshimitsu's going to probably pull from Soul Calibur series, and if he pulls from that Soul Calibur 6 Yoshimitsu, man, it's gonna be crazy.
Hmm.
It's gonna be nuts. I have a feeling he's gonna pull from he's definitely gonna pull from that. And he's just gonna be a little bit. I want to see how he's gonna play, but I think he's gonna be very interesting. Um, yeah, with Tekken, man, I think it's dope. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Are there any characters like I know Tim you had mentioned in the chat that like you're a little surprised that there's been nothing in regards to Eddie Gordo being announced? Is there anything that you guys, now that a character like Yoshimitsu is confirmed to be in the base roster, are there any characters that should they get announced as DLC, you wouldn't mind, being part of the season pass?
To be honest, bro, Tech is in a very weird place, man. Very, very weird place that I don't even know. I don't even know. I would have thought a lot of more. To be honest, I would have thought a lot more characters from the final Tekken roster of 7 would have been in the base game.
And
Because
announced like right away, right?
my thing right away is like, bro, if they didn't die, where are they?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, and that's why I said that was the issue that I had with Tekken 7. It was like they resold us a lot of classic characters, like Julia Chang, Armored King, Anna Williams. Like, I'm glad that, yeah, we got Leroy back as a base roster character, but where's, and I know Jory might hate me for this, but where's Faku Ramen?
Because
Where's
nobody like
Tekken
Faku
Sagat?
Ramen.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, nobody like him. Nobody
okay,
like him. Yeah.
okay.
That's the truth, man. Nobody like him. Like
Okay.
they only picked him because they were like, yo, this is the closest thing I'm gonna get to Bruce. All right, so
Okay.
so they picked him. You know what I'm saying? This is the closest thing we get to Bruce, man, and he's gonna come back, man.
Who, Bruce?
I'm confident, man. Those data files after what Harada said, I have hope, man.
It
He's
might
gonna
hit
come
Control
back.
Alt Delete, bro, because of the leak. You never know.
No, man. Let me tell you, strong yes. Eddie Gordo's coming back. Whether
I
he's
mean,
gonna be DLC or not, I don't know. I think Christy might be DLC before Eddie would be. That's just how I
or
feel.
you don't think it'll be the other way around? Because I feel like they could always sell Eddie, right? Like Eddie, like for me, for example, like whenever I think of Eddie, I immediately think of Tekken 3. Like he does have that nostalgia factor that Christy might not, in comparison.
Nah. I think Eddie Gordo is gonna probably cause like if that's the case, Armor King to who's Armor King the King? That's what Christy is to Eddie Gordo. So that's how I feel about that. I think they'll put Eddie first. Now we're in a era where we're not trying to incorporate the thirsty guys. We're not trying to sell to them or whatever. So we're gonna do everything we can to mitigate those weird guys that they want. Hey, is Christy gonna be in the game, dude? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah.
Yeah,
So I think they're
okay.
gonna pull away from that. That's something. If you really want Christy, you're gonna pay for her.
Think Master Raven will be DLC?
Master Raven,
Yeah.
she might be. And she might be packaged with Konimitsu once again. She might even, and then with Anna. I think that pack people will buy. It could be, you could probably call it Lethal Weapon, Lethal Ladies, Femme Fatale, whatever you want to call it. But I think that definitely will be probably an interesting pack. With Master Raven, they're gonna have to change her. They're gonna have to add some subtleties, make some big differences. I think Fenway is gonna make it in, hands down. Not because of the leaks, but I think he's gonna make it in because he's one of those characters now. If he's not in the game, it doesn't feel right. And I think
it's happened.
the Tekken 5, characters that was a very strong new character list, man. Dragunov, like you're almost never gonna get a game without Dragunov. It's almost a crime now. And I think Lee's gonna make it back, man. I have a feeling.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
Lee's
base
gonna
roster
make
or
it
DLC?
back. Base. Overlay. Yeah, overlay.
Okay.
I don't know. I think if Tekken really wants to actually make an in and like make a last attempt punch just to stand to survive Mortal Kombat's wave, they have to do that. They have to give us Eddie. They have to give us Fenway. They have to give us characters that we want. And after that, they'll be fine. Everything else could be DLC, and we'll be fine with it. You know, we'll be fine with it. I think they have to. At this point, Mortal Kombat's press run was so short, and for what it felt like they were
So
out longer.
Yeah, but
They,
so
it, they
effective.
it was so short. That's how much confidence we were like, man, is Mortal Kombat gonna even be good with all the chaos that's going on with DC Beyond Doors? And we was
Hmm.
like, no, they're perfectly fine. The thing is, it's so perfect. They said, we don't even have to spend this much money.
On marketing
And
and anything like that. Yeah.
now look at it. Like for me, I know there's more. I really believe like we haven't seen any. They showed us everything they wanted us to see.
Hmm.
So the story, I don't know how long that story mode is gonna be, but NRS knows that who their fans are. Story driven people, gameplay driven people. Now you have the perfect storm. So back to Tekken, like I think Tekken now they're probably gonna do a shorter press run after seeing the effects of what Mortal Kombat has done.
I did.
Yeah, because boy,
Yeah.
man, I never thought that was gonna take place. So yeah, for me, man, they gotta give us what we want. Those
Do
other
you,
characters, yeah, they have to give us stuff we want. It gotta be stuff we want.
but do you guys feel like okay? So the thing that's kind of like pressing for me the most with Tekken, right, is that I feel like compared to Street Fighter, compared to Mortal Kombat, each game has had their own unique angles of how they presented themselves, right? So with Street Fighter, it was a mixture of yes, the roster, but also the approach to offline single player content, right, as well as the modes, right? People have been ranting and raving how much they love the drive mode and the changes to the combat system for Street Fighter, right? For Mortal Kombat, it's been pick. It's the roster. It's the reapproach to the story. It's the way that they're implementing an assist system, right, for the first time in these games, right? With Tekken, it's like Tekken to me so far hasn't necessarily done anything outstanding, but everything is very solid, right? Again, getting a 32 character roster out the gate, unheard of for an IP as big as Tekken, right? Customization, right? We saw in the customization trailer. Hey, we've heard y'all. If you don't like Paul's hairstyle, here's a costume. Put him back in his old one with the high top. It's right there for you. We're not selling it to you. Take it. Here's a solid online lobby system. We already know. You guys know. We know that that we'll have rollback in this game. Do you guys feel like Tekken's approach is this? We're gonna just drop a solid fighter, or is there something more like what's the angle you think Tekken's gonna come with of being like, you
I
want to buy
think,
us in
I
January?
think, I think I think Tekken's lobby is weak. That lobby mode
Really?
is a little too weak. Yeah, it's too weak. Compared because Street Fighter did the same thing. So
Hmm.
now when I look at Street Fighter Zone,
Well,
it's
their lobby system is more classic anime fighter lobby system. The
mhm.
whole chibi style and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, yeah.
It's different. It's different. Cause yeah, all right. Cause I would say like Street Fighter's lobby system. That's more of a actual hub world,
Hmm.
and yeah, that's not really Tekken style. So yeah, here's the anime chibi. Because remember, they honor their roots.
Hmm.
So, and that's why I looked at it as that. I was like, all right, well, that's cool, because Blaze Blue has it, and so many other games have it, and then of course, so of course they would have it too. So
Okay.
it's not a direct copy. Yes, and I get it that with these three flagships being released a couple of months from each other, there's a lot of comparison between them. But they're all different in their own different ways, and then we still have to respect that. But then yes, out it goes back to our point. But what makes you truly want to buy this? To be honest, I feel like Tekken is just going more the classic route. We know that this story is coming to an end. This is the latest Tekken on latest system hardware. hopefully, yes, they might integrate some new gameplay mechanics, and I do think the story is going to get a little bit more deeper this round, especially with the bringing back Jin's mother into the mix.
Hmm.
Um, and you know, Mortal Kombat is in a fresh new coat of paint, new story, new world. So yes, they've added more longevity to this. There's like, yeah, we got some more coming, but then look at Street Fighter. It's at a standstill. You created a pretty product, but it's at a standstill in terms of story. So they're all in a very weird place of life.
I think with Tekken, I think Tekken's gonna be okay. Like, versus I honestly think Tekken's gonna be okay. I'm going off of just the marketing, but Tekken's gonna
Hmm.
be just fine, man. Tekken's gonna be fine. When I say fine, fine, Tekken is gonna be fine because Tekken, for what Tekken 7 did, man, Tekken 7's power is on another level now. Tekken is
Hmm.
bigger than it ever was, and in its entire lifespan. No more of these arcade pocket fights held at your local library. Yo, we doing it on the big stage, and those
Hmm.
fights are entertaining. They are entertaining. The Tekken fights. Now the thing is, Tekken does have new mechanics. The heat system.
Yeah.
So the heat system basically allows you to do crazy mix-up and links, stuff that you were never able to do before. Like so now.
Like, like a
That you can
large
turn on off.
Chidori fist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, you got Kazuya doing the electric fist how many times, and if you can't stop, you're not good enough to stop it, then that it is what it is. It's so
Hmm.
definitely more fast paced. Um, and I think Tekken's gonna be fine. The thing where people are, um, the chatter that's actually getting, people like, yo, maybe Tekken is because some people. I have a buddy of mine says, yo, I can't tell the difference between Tekken 7 and 8. And I was like, well, you can. I said, there's a big difference. No, I know.
Ooh,
I
Yeah,
was like, there's a big difference.
there's a difference
he's
in
tripping.
graphics.
I'm like, when's the last time did you see? Even the movement, the animation is way more
Yeah, he's
fluid
tripping.
and
He's
like.
tripping.
So I'm like, okay, so what do you, like? What am I seeing that he's not seeing? Is it the lighting? Is it the lighting looking the character hair? Because I could see where people could from a distance you were like, oh, okay, but for me, it's no, the graphics is there.
I think to your friend's defense, it may not be as distinct of a graphical
I see you
difference.
wanted it to be
Cause
right, yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So like I remember like some of the initial alarms between Mortal Kombat 11 and the one reboot is that it didn't look as big of a graphical jump in terms of character models until you start looking at the lighting, where it's like the bright stages now on that game are bright, they're
Yeah,
colorful. Johnny
yeah.
Cage's mansion, you would have never seen a stage like that in K11. It's night and day. Whereas like with Tekken, we haven't, other than the stage that kind of got rolled out with a Ravens trailer, we haven't really seen too many stages where you're just like, wow, this is
That
completely
Peru
different from what I've seen
stage,
before.
that Peru
Yeah,
stage was pretty dope.
it was, but I mean, but it's still kind of like in the like to me when I thought of the Peru stage, it kind of made me think of Soul Calibur a little bit in terms of like so like it's different and it's dynamic, but it's not like this is Tekken on another level. That if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Those stages look pretty crazy to me, man.
No, they do. I'm just saying in terms of like, again, like you said, from a distance of like,
Okay.
if I was to say this is Tekken 7, this is Tekken 8, what's the thing that like grabs you immediately? Besides animation, of course, and then
Well, to be
graphics, of course.
honest, I mean, when they announced June is back, I was like, I am so happy, bro, because it's like, bro, it's been a long time coming, man. Because first of all, I mean, I get it, and I'm glad that they gave us a deeper story of from like with Kazuya and his mother and the devil gene and her being from a rival clan trying to kill Heihachi since he was the current head. And what's the easiest way to get close to him, man? Marry him and have his kids.
Hmm.
And it was like, wow. It's like, wow. Like, since birth, my parents were at war with each other, and that war came over to me. So I am interested to see like how this story plays out between Jin, June, and Kazuya. Because I'm like, all right, well, bro, she obviously loved your father in the other way that she had you,
To some extent.
and now we're able to see how much did he really care for her. because that was never really something that we saw like in Tekken 2 and stuff like that. Remember, because Tekken 2 was always the fight about the final battle. It was always about the final battle, and
Hmm.
that's why I really appreciated the Tekken anime. And it goes back to what I said, multiple different areas for the property. Like, bro, Tekken Bloodline, that was the best Tekken 3 story ever, bro. It was very detailed, and it's like, and after playing
Just a little
Tekken 7,
blasphemous
it's
for no
like,
Eddie Gordo, but go ahead.
yeah. And after playing Tekken 7, I'm like, yeah, bro, like ain't no Kazuya slander over here. My boy is a victim.
Hmm.
Don't say nothing about this man.
Oh man,
So
I
it's
people like
and
Kazuya for different reasons, man. Like,
so and it, so like it really opens up a lot of doors for storytelling. And it's like, yeah, well, bro, I really want to see this relationship between June and Kazuya. I really want to see what is it? What are they?
So could that be the
And
angle of like the of what makes Tekken 8 stand out is just like the story and the connecting of the
yes, I
dots?
I
Okay.
would because and that's what I'm saying, bro. When he killed Heihachi, bro, like that final punch, bro, you felt that, bro. Like, wow, this is really it. Like,
Hmm.
there's no more last minute revives or some natural force.
Helicopters
Like,
fly
no,
out, shooting
no,
rocket launchers and scoop them up.
he is dead. He is dead.
Jack robots fall from the sky, and
oh man, I love Tekken 5's opening, man.
bro,
Oh
it was
man,
amazing. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty fire.
my goodness,
He is
my
he
Top
goodness.
tier.
he he is dead. So it was like, yeah, bro, you're really feeling this story because you could tell even with them, they wanted to upgrade a bit. Yeah, the story took some time to get like a little grease into it, but
Hmm.
as it started to get near the end, it's like, bro, Heihachi blew up the G Corp with a satellite, bro. Killed thousands of people in the blast just to get to his son, just for your son to just go all devil mode and say, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, fly over to
Yeah.
where, which was pretty. That was yeah. Tekken 7's story mode. There's a couple parts I'm like, but for the especially towards the latter end of it, it got really really good.
You know, so
Yeah.
interesting. You know, so crazy. The Mishima fighting style it came from Finway's clan.
Hmm.
Yeah, so the God Fist it originated from from where Finway is from. I'm not gonna say his clan, but he's searching for the scroll. He said, "Yo, that's his storyline." And so I thought that was cool. So he's gonna be in there. I don't know how much he's gonna be a part of the story, but they gotta put Lei in there because him and Lei have beef. You know what I'm saying? They gotta put Lei in there, man.
But that's the thing I wonder because I feel like in separate conversations before we even started the pod, like I've spoken to you, Joy, about this. I've spoken to you, Tim, about this. It's like one of the things that I find aggravating as a more casual Tekken fan is that you kind of find out that there's so much more depth to these other characters and their stories that doesn't really get elaborated on unless you go looking for it. Like for
Yeah,
me, as like an ultra casual fan, I didn't know there was two versions of King. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't know there was
yeah.
like
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah,
King who died, and then someone who was
yeah,
inspired. It kind of took up the mantle. I didn't know. I had no
yeah,
idea.
yeah, yeah. That
You know
was
what I'm saying?
crazy.
It's just like because they don't spend enough time on these iconic Tekken characters,
Yeah.
right? Where it's like I remember texting Tim when Tekken Bloodlines was airing, and it's like, are we finally gonna get to see Paul fight Kuma? Nope, off screen again. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I want to see this man take down a grizzly bear with the Mishima fighting style. That sounds fire to me. You know, it's like these things that is like, here's these important moments of these other key characters that just kind of get skipped over in order for it to get back to this family feud. You know, and that's kind of the thing, like, I hope kind of gets elaborated on at least a little bit in Tekken
I
8 of like
I
these
think
other characters with very pivotal storylines.
I think with all fighting games, man, they need to implement mechanics only for the storyline so people can go back to it. Because you know what I'm saying, with the fight, you need to have exclusive. Um, that's what I liked about the Naruto games, man. I know they're completely different, but the Naruto games, like, there were things where, like, yo, you have to catch this energy blast and throw it back at
Hmm.
the tailed beast or whatever. I thought that was like, yo, that's brilliant.
Hmm.
Yo, you gotta make sure you don't get hit for like 30 seconds. You need these uniquely and I think Soul Calibur did that almost like perfectly without them trying to do it. The weapon master modes, oh
Hmm.
man. I remember, dog, for the Xbox, man, I was on that thing they turned it into an RPG, not really, because you would have to try to get special weapons. Some weapons gave you extra life, some weapons didn't. Um, and I think with Tekken, they need to implement like special mechanics to where like, you know, okay, it's okay to have a time cutscene. It's a fighting game, you know, where yo, if I do this correctly, I'll have more life and he'll have less life because he's a cheat code in itself. Fighting
Mm.
Kazuya when you're trying to beat Akuma on the final Akuma's raging demon, man. If you
That
did
fight was
not
so
jump,
aggravating.
yo, forget
It
it,
was
man. Even
so aggravating, yo.
Kazuya versus Heihachi, man. That thing was crazy, man. And you need to
Mm-hmm.
have, I think Tekken 7 needs to do that, man. Because if you're not going to give us a Tekken Force, okay, fine. At least have special mechanics to where, like, you add a tag system inside the story mode just to get
Okay.
people, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know? I think that's what they need to do for the next ideas in fighting games, man. Because it's like, I liked how they did it. It's cool how they did it in 7, but I wanted
Mm-hmm.
more from it, man. In my mind, Tekken Force is what I really want to play, but you
I
know,
mean, you and I
you
both,
know,
but
you know what I'm
I
saying. But
understand the reasons. Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna go that route. But you know, if you did want to make an impact on you know, marketing your game, your product, I think you guys should, you know, you guys should consider that, man. That's what's gonna give
Yeah.
you guys the edge against
Because
Mortal Kombat,
I
because
guess
Mortal
I
Kombat's heat momentum's not dying anytime soon. That thing's gonna bleed all into January, all
yeah.
into February next year. It's just not gonna. I mean, they have to do something drastic. Either they might even have to delay it. You know.
Well, because and we can move into Mortal Kombat after this. But
Hmm.
that's my thing is like, and that's why I asked you guys that topic. Is like, I think in terms of from a solid right, if we're talking about uh, a solid investment, right, of a consumer's money, of a player's money, to get 32 characters in the base roster, to get a rollback netcode out the gate, to get a lobby system that may not be spectacular but functions. Right, I think these are key things, and I wonder if the Tekken team is like, we're just going to drop a really solid fighting game, right? So let's just say that they don't do anything with spectacle. Do you guys feel like that's enough for Tekken to still be kind of like,
Yeah,
breaking records and things like that?
yeah,
Like, does it need
yeah.
something to like carry out to Mortal Kombat levels, to Street Fighter levels, or
Nah,
you feel like this is
if Tech
enough?
if Tekken plays well, man, and people get creative with that heat system, because now, like to Tim's point, Tekken Tekken 2024 not gonna be Tekken 26.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? When I say Tekken 26, I mean in the year, like the
Right,
updates,
of
the
them building up
characters
on it.
that's
Yeah.
now
Hmm.
available now, the stages that's now available now. It's coming with mini games. They're not going to use the Unreal Engine for nothing, and for it not to be
Hmm.
a full package. You
Bowling is
know,
coming back.
bowling's coming back, new modes is coming back. I think we're gonna get a
Hmm.
Tekken Force. And we probably might pay for it, but I think so.
Tim, I
I
think so
think
too.
so. I don't think it's like impossible. I said, why not? Like people want the product, just it's just not a part
A
of the core
Tekken
game.
beat 'em up, bro. That while the beat 'em up genre is
Um,
on its way back, it's having a renaissance
Spin-offs.
right now.
When we get
Hmm.
to that, we'll address it, man.
okay.
But yeah, man. Yeah, I think Tekken's gonna be straight, man. Tekken's gonna be fine. We're more surprised at how little Mortal Kombat has done, and it being almost everything that was supposed to be done.
Yeah, and that.
They have an unfair advantage because it's a fresh start. It's Liu Kang stuff that makes sense. Liu Kang now is the um Liu Kang now is the wise counselor, and Raiden is
Hmm.
now. And it's like, man, I'm not mad at this. So now I got more questions. Kung Lao at Kung Lao is what? Kung Lao is still Kung Lao? Same
Great
way Luthor is
segue.
still Luthor?
Great segue, bro. So let's get into it, right? So Mortal Kombat, they drop a new trailer. We get General Shao, right? We get Sindel. Shujinko makes his appearance as a cameo. They
Hey,
even
hey.
went the extra step.
He's coming as DLC,
See,
man. He's coming as DLC.
Crazy. The mimic character as DLC.
I
Listen, when I
mean,
say when hold
Johnny,
up. When you
Johnny,
say
bro.
mimic character, Sujinko had people's moves. He was not like a Mokujin.
He's a
He was
mimic
he
character,
was
bro. That's
not
the same thing.
no
That
no
is
no.
the exact same thing.
Mokujin played as a character, just swapped skin. Sujinko had characters' moves
Yes,
within his repertoire.
which they showed in his cameo fighting style. He just copies,
If you didn't know, Tim,
copy, and paste.
if you didn't know, Tim, he had that same overhead in Armageddon and
Okay,
Deception. So what I'm saying is he still has regular punches, but his special moves were taken from everybody. He was more like a Seth versus Mokujin caught straight pay. He's more like
and
a
you saw
Seth.
what happened to that, right? We don't want that because the next game Seth came in, they redid his entire move set. They made him an original character. And then the thing about Shujinko that made him so special was the story mode that you play with him. So of course, introducing a mimic character with no story, who wants that?
Now, who wants Street Fighter's versions? I think NRS can do a good job. They've proved it to us before. Let them do it again. So we can't go off of one company's rendition of a Genjutsu versus Jujutsu Kaisen's version of Genjutsu. You know what I'm saying? We
Okay,
can't go off of that. You completely different properties, same concept,
okay.
but
I just
completely
don't care
different.
for. I was just glad that they found like games are finally getting rid of mimic characters because I feel like that's a waste of a character
No,
slot.
no, it
But
is
yeah,
because it's when you fight like Cervantes and it's just a different skin, or you're Edge Master and you fight like everybody else is just a different skin. Yeah, that's horrible. Just like what they gave us in Soul Calibur 5. We had three mimic characters. Three. You had Okadan, you had Keelik, whatever his name is, you had Elysium, is just it was horrible. They all fought like Setsuka, Patroclus, the second evolution. You know, that was horrible. Versus Sujinko actually having his own combos, but then wait, he can do Scorpion's get over here. He can do Sindel's overhead. You
no, no.
it's not the same.
He can stay a cameo for
Yeah,
like
yeah, 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 but it's not the same.
he's in he's in the same boat as Striker for me. He doesn't need to come back.
well, Striker is not coming back for different reasons though. Tim.
Yeah,
It's
but
not that
Striker
Striker
strike
can't be
No,
people
interesting.
but then the thing that made Shujinko relevant was the story about the Kamidogu, and then those are obviously gone. So it's like yeah, you know, nostalgia is the reason why people love him. But then to be honest, bro, he's paperweight to me.
So, Tim, you don't feel like there's anything that they could do with Shujinko that could breathe new life into the character for
They
you?
would have to revamp his entire fighting style, bro. They would have to revamp it. And honestly, and that's where I see the potential in Mortal Kombat 1 is like, because look what they did with Tanya. Like, that's what made me think, like, all right, bro, Jade is definitely a cameo now, y'all boys, because you gave her a staff.
Speaking of Jade, did you guys see
Like,
that
yeah,
tweet I sent you guys?
nah,
Okay,
nah, I'll look at it.
I sent a tweet in the group chat of apparently a stan account for Jade and a stan account for women fighting characters everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
Where she was
Oh.
like, "How is it that we can have the return of all the original male ninjas in Mortal Kombat, but yet characters like Jade and Sonya can be put on the cutting room floor? Why is that? Why can't Jade be in the base roster game just like these male ninjas? Why do they get priority?"
I
And
mean,
I was like,
and at the same
And
time, they're just as
she is a
important.
and then
Yeah.
she is a ninja. She because
Oh.
I get the reason why Sonya is not in this because when you look at Lee May, what is she? Oh, an outworld ex cop,
yeah,
military,
pretty much.
military.
Indiana
She has
police
a
force, basically.
and yeah, and when you look at her moves, even some of her projectiles look like Sonya, like minus the wrist, the little technological. It's like, bro, she's basically Sonya, basically.
So how do we? I mean, how do we feel about that, guys? I mean, if you look at it, right, it's like, granted, again, I will say as a default, I don't think that NetherRealm has a bad history of representation. in the series. I think we've had
No, not at
Asian
all. Not at
fighters,
all.
black fighters, Indian fighters.
Yeah.
Like I think they do a good job. But you look at it and it's just like, okay, we have Katanya and Melina. We have Sindel, who's looking even closer to her daughters than she's ever looked before. Right? It's like, yeah, no, that's their mom for sure. Like no doubt about it. But it's just like, all right, Tanya is now officially black, right? She was black in one iteration of Mortal Kombat, then we were just kind of unsure. Now she's officially black.
She turned Armenian in 10 and 11. She's Armenian.
She got a little ethnically ambiguous for a little while, but now she's black. And again, like Tim said, Jade is probably not going to be, at least not on the base roster.
I ain't gonna lie.
And like Tim said, she's a ninja.
Tanya do look like a cameo, man. So who said that in the chat? She do look like a cameo, man. I was like, yo, man.
No, Jade.
Oh,
Yeah, Jade is definitely a cameo, bro. Because that was very weird to me. And then the thing about it is, like, Tanya has had different weapons in past Mortal Kombat games, like that were very unique to her. So I was like, why would you give her a staff?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just how I feel, bro. But yeah, like General Shao, bro. I like the axe. I was like, bro, that's pretty dope. The axe is pretty dope, and you can tell he's much faster.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely feel, and then looking at past pictures, there was some YouTubers that highlighted like maybe Shao Kahn and Onaga were always related, because when you look at their helmets, you see the horn shape. And I was like, and then now they have actually given him horns, and then they've always said like, especially as like when he went from like Mortal Kombat 11 and onward, he had dragon-like characteristics. He had the skin, he had the horns coming from his elbows, the scales, the eyes, and now old boy got the horns, bro. So like maybe his people, and because you could wait that they put like Adenia as like this fairy tale magic world with a bunch of different species, because now the humanoid people are the Adenians. Any human-like person is an Adenian. Then you have the Shokins. Then you have the Centaurians. And then you have General Shao's race, who was like of dragon-like qualities. So I'm thinking, like, bro, Onaga might be his actual ancestor. Oh, yeah, I don't like this Liu Kang, dude. I'm going to summon an ancient power that my ancestors used back in the day. And I'm going to take you out. I'm going to take this throne. You about to be my wife and have my kids. Bada boom, bada bing.
Bro, this is the beginning of Sindel's villain arc for sure.
A lot of people's...
Yeah,
Tim was like, she's a good character. I was like, no, she's going to start off good. But no.
To be honest, you could tell it's going to be that way for everybody, bro, because the Lin Kuei going rogue, bro. That fight scene in the cafe, I was like, yeah, bro, they're basically the Foot Clan.
I mean, do you guys still want to rate on the characters? Or do you want to pivot to that? Because I want to talk about that too.
We can go there.
Yeah?
Yeah, we can go there.
Okay. First of all, let me say, there's moments in time where, especially throughout 10, where throughout 11, right? And even now with the reboot, that I forget how much NetherRealm can put attention to detail when they really want to. And I think there was no greater example of that than that 17-minute story mode trailer that IGN dropped. Because, like Tim said, you're seeing, even in previous Mortal Kombats, right? Take this exact same scenario, it would have just been Smoke, Sub-Zero, and Scorpion walking up to do whatever they need to do. In this iteration, it's not. They're there, but it's the Lin Kuei. There's other ninjas there, other nameless, not as popular ninjas there. To showcase the fact that it is, yes, a tribe, a clan of people, right? The fact that they took the time of having Madame Bo, who might have other implications, right? She
absolutely, hands down.
Right, right.
You don't mistakenly do that.
Yeah, right. So you have Madame Bo, who
and she could fight,
right?
When I saw that, I was like, "Yo, what?" Yeah,
right. You have that. You have the fact that even something as silly as Buddy, who's casually drinking his beer while Sub-Zero and Kung Lao are throwing hands, like ice is being thrown everywhere. He's using to cool his drink and continue pouring sake. It's like, bro, I'm like, NetherRealm, when they want to, I'm just like, yo, this is like, again, they can continue to raise the bar on what a fighting game story mode can look like. It looks like a world. The fact that they even took the time to animate scenes of Kung Lao and Raiden harvesting cabbage in a field, bro. In a field. The fact that Kung Lao gets the inspiration to toss his hat and then sees a blade and it's like, oh, that's a good idea. It's like, man, wow. You know? You can't use Kung Lao's full moveset because he doesn't know how to do the hat toss yet. Raiden doesn't have his electrical powers yet. You know, the fact that he's kind of Kung Lao's inferior in this moment. And now you're like, oh, maybe this is what leads on his path to be the Liu Kang's new chosen one. It's just like, wow. Man. But go ahead, Tim. I was just, since we're segueing into it, of just the story mode.
No, man, that's dope, man. And then, you know, with the whole Chronica reveal, and it was just like, yep, all right, that's the missing character that, you know, people have been wondering about. It has to be. It has to be, bro. And, you know, we already know that there's going to be a big twist because I think Chronica and Garrus are the same person. I think that they are. Like, you know, a lot of people have been experimenting with the whole Orochimaru thing and this and that. As long as that essence is out there, it could always be resurrected. And, you know, Garrus was of Chronica's creation, had some of her powers and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, bro, I do feel that Garrus is Chronica.
Do you guys feel like Chronica deserves a second chance, so to speak? Because a lot of people didn't like her in 11.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do feel like, you know, this is her, like, outside of the whole new era thing, just in front of the hourglass, just being a boss. Like, she's literally the shadow behind the scenes. Because, like I said, I was like, dog, what could happen that Liu Kang did not see it coming? And then, yeah, it's right under your nose. Oh, Garrus, my good friend. And then remember what I showed you with the meme with Tim Drake turning into the Joker. I was like, bro, it's right in front of us, bro. Come on, like that is Chronica. That is Chronica. Because yes, it makes sense. He is of her, so he technically is her.
He's the Black Zetsu of her Kaguya, essentially. Her living will and testament.
Wow.
No, that is a perfect example. And that's where I feel like this story is going to go. Like you said, bro, we need some more villains. And I was like, well, Quan Chi is DLC.
But he's in the game.
Well, yeah,
he'll show up, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, he's gonna show up in the game because you did see the green fireball, and we all know that's his signature move. So, like, yeah, you got Havoc. You have General Shao to an extent. Like, you can even consider the Lin Kuei villain.
I'm disappointed in this Havoc. I'm a little disappointed in Havoc. Not as far as aesthetic, not as far as look, not as far as fighting style. There was more of an ominous presence about the original, like, mysteriousness to this chaotic character who spoke very calmly. And for me, he's a little too on the heavy side of chaotic versus maybe they might do a character transition later, but Havoc in Deception and in Armageddon, Deception, at least when you interact with them, he had his voice acting was more on point. It was like, Luke, Sujinko, did you find the relic? Like, sure, but he, like, a lot of how he delivered his ideas and thoughts were extremely scary. It was like, wow. You would think a chaotic guy would be someone who's on Adderall or someone who's talking like a Bakugo. I'll kill you, But this one was interesting. So he had this inherent wisdom about him, but it led to chaos, and there was so many things fearful, terrifying about him. I'm like, yo, if this guy wanted to take over, he could do it. That's what I don't get from this Havoc. The Havoc before seemed to have, like, Quan Chi, Shang Tsung, these guys are the top dogs. But if I really wanted to, I'm the Aizen that they don't understand that it actually needs to be. And the only person who's getting in my way is a Hotaru because he's too sharp. And that's my disappointment. Because you go ahead, guys, when you get the free time, just go watch that entire, it's only like 12 minutes. Watch that entire little Deception run. And the voice acting, his philosophy, his jokes, he had like very he would joke, but it would be very it'd be like, yo, that's it's you know, it reveals a little too much about like, yo, this guy is crazy if he's joking this way.
Well,
That's
like
my whole thing with them. That's why I was kind of like, what is Quan Chi without being, without the deep voice, being the Lex Luthor of the Mortal Kombat
Of
realm, as
Outworld,
far
yeah.
of Outworld, as Shang Tsung is the Ra's al Ghul of Mortal Kombat. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, you know, th- like that. Havoc was like Bane, but more
Havoc
with
was he was like a more rational Joker, I guess you could
yeah,
say.
yeah, more rational Joker. But it was just, and it was refreshing because it wasn't like, oh, I'm chaos, 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 this, da, da, da. It was more like Batman actually. The Joker makes a lot of sense. I think we should do this, that, but it was crazy. So that's what my little disappointment with Havoc. He just seems to oh yeah, I'll kill you. I was like, come on, man, who can't see that coming? The momentum of what Mortal Kombat once presenting, he would have been a perfect fit to expand upon, pulling stuff from the comic book and adding this. Now this guy is he's really a chaos mage. You know.
So you feel like he could? I mean, we don't know, right?
We
Yeah,
don't.
but
I
he
don't
could
know
play
if
a
he's
bigger
gonna
role.
change later. Yeah, later.
Mm.
But so far, he seems like a charge guy. Like he seems like a Bakugo. You know, very. Yeah, I'm gonna do this no matter what. See, that storyline with that temperament is more interesting with the guy who's. I'm really tired of the way things are being ran. I don't like order, but he's talking very calmly. That sells, and the voice actor did such a good job because he was like, I think when Sujinko encountered him for the first time, he was like, "Ah, yes, welcome to the realm of chaos." There's a I don't know who gave him the mission, but it was someone to confront Noob Saibok, so he had to go
I know they
and do a
collaborate
mission
at some
for him.
point.
Yeah, and then the way he agreed to teach Sujinko the ways of chaos was even interesting to me too. So it's like, man, you know, I don't want to see a male version of Melina because that's what he's giving off to me in a way. You already have Baraka, and now you got this guy who's almost having the same "I'm always angry" character. So that's how I felt
well,
about it.
well, the thing about it is, bro, and I think the reason why, yeah, because you got to get it. Yes, some of the 3D era stuff is very dated, and when you look at his fighting style, he's a kamikaze character. There's a part where he literally bashes his skull into you, and he's coughing out blood because he broke his skull. And even like his X-ray, like he's beating you to the point where his bones are exposed, and he's
Mm-hmm.
just like
Hitting
stabbing you.
you
Like
so
yes,
hard that
like
his arms break off, type thing.
so
Yeah.
like it's kind of like yeah, I get it. His fighting style back in those 3D, it was weird. It was weird because next thing you know, he's doing like a conjuring full 360 turn, hitting you at the same time. But it's just like yes, this dude is like he's causing harm to himself as he's
Yeah,
harming you.
yeah.
So it's kind of like you wanted something to really embody that, I would say, and I think that's the direction that they were trying to go.
Okay.
Because yeah, like some of these characters are getting a bit more emphasis on their story. That you could tell they're very focused about identities this time around. And yes, like when you really look at it, look how many calm villains we have. Shang Tsung and Quan Chi are very charismatic for who they
Mm-hmm.
are, and you had great examples: the Ra's al Ghul and the Lex Luthor. Like they're very calm speaking, very charismatic people. Shao Kahn is the brute who gets the last say. Shinnok would like to be honest, bro. Shinnok, to me, never really had that much development all around.
Never.
Never.
Only in four.
It wasn't his fault though. It wasn't
Yeah.
his
Yeah,
fault. He didn't have enough games to like do anything.
yeah. So Havoc, and you could tell this is like a pre Chaos Realm creation type of thing. And
Mhm.
that's what it's kind of given the vibe off. So yeah, a kamikaze character.
It could be
Expect the
Havoc's
un-
rise to power. His
expect expect
how
yeah
he
expect
establishes the chaos realm.
expect the unexpected, bro.
Mm.
And that's how I took it
Okay.
because Because yeah, like a lot of people wanted him in an 11 because he was hinted like twice.
Yeah.
He was hinted
Name
like
drop.
twice in 11. He was name dropped twice, but nothing came of it.
Got a whole
Like
storyline in the comics and everything.
because people
And
were
I'm
even
like,
saying. Because people were even saying, like, if you bring back Nightwolf, bring back the female one that was mentioned, like an ancestor. It was a female Makata, and I was like, yeah, that would be dope. So, like,
okay.
yeah, like they're pulling a lot of different things, man, and yeah, like Madame Boraicho, like, come on, bro,
Right.
that was
So,
gold, bro.
Right.
so if Chronic is still alive, y'all think her daughter's still alive? If that's her daughter?
No, no,
No?
They
Okay.
didn't like that character.
no.
She
She
got
she
whisked out of the continuity.
she didn't seem interesting. She was a tree. Like, I don't want to see Poison Ivy. There was nothing
Ah,
unique about her to make her like
Well, she actually had access to all five elements.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
she
wasn't
which was
just
basic.
fine, right?
She
yeah.
basically kind of replaced. She was like Tremor fused with Raiden and Fujin, basically, with the little plants.
Which was cool, but it was just like, give us a give us a give us a how just how I think her design threw people off. It wasn't interesting enough.
I
It
mean,
was like,
it was an elder god, bro. Like you
yeah,
gotta look majestic.
no,
I
you
think
can. She
you
just
know what I
didn't
think the
look.
issue has been? I don't think they've done a good job. I think honestly, Liu Kang might have been their best example of taking it more seriously, of presenting the elder gods in a Mortal Kombat game. Like to you guys' point about Shinnok, it's like I feel like they've tried to hold back, even with Centurion. It's just like, yeah, they're elder gods, but you don't want them to feel drastically more powerful than a Jax, right? So you give them these things that make them like you can see that their abilities, but they don't seem like you're not rushing to pick Shinnok. You're not rushing to pick Centurion because it's like they're cool, but this isn't an elder god to me. Like this isn't like wow,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
another tier of character. And I
Now
feel
Liu
like Liu
Kang,
Kang, yeah,
he
this Liu
fit. Yeah,
Kang, he feels like
Yeah,
yo,
bro. The dude summons the Big Bang as a fate. It's like, come on, bro. Like, and and
even
you
the
could
other
tell.
fatality, the one with the two dueling fire dragons that hold you while he palms your head into the ground.
effortless.
Sheesh.
Yeah, yeah.
And
And
it's
then
but you
what? Yeah, go ahead, my bad.
but you could tell he didn't make another pantheon this time around. Because to
Mm-mm.
be honest, you might as well just give wind powers to Kung Lao, bro. So when he does his little spinning hat thing,
Mm.
or throw a little gust of wind, because you could tell he does like even when you saw the preview of the gameplay in the restaurant, he kind of does like shock waves, like how the dude from One Piece, Sengoku, like how he
Mm.
does them little
Like an
shock
open
waves.
palm.
I was like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, so like, all right, make Kung Lao the new Fujin,
Mm,
sort
okay.
of. Because like I said, bro, spiritual successors, bro. Because if you ain't really got no, if you didn't create a new pantheon, if it's just you and Garrus,
True. Do
Dang,
you
that's so
guys?
messed up.
How do you guys feel about Kung Lao again not being chosen as Earth champion? You know,
Man,
it's all signs are pointing to Raiden kind of taking up that chosen one
it might
mantle.
be, something might happen to Raiden. We don't know because Kung Lao might be someone who steps up to the plate later, and it just makes it more of an interesting character development because of the stakes.
But it's
Um,
it's tricky because to some degree, even watching that gameplay, I'm like, I kind of like arrogant Kung Lao. He's funny to me.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah,
very, like just
yeah.
the, even the
But
little comments they have in
Kung
the same
Lao,
between matches of like, this is not
Kung
going the way
Lao
you think
was
it's going to go.
Kung Lao was always like that, man. And when I look back at it, when you play Shaolin Monks, he was the one who said, "Yo, this Raiden is getting on my nerves." Even though the voice acting was terrible, but
Hmm.
his script was always in conflict. Why do we always have to listen to the elder gods? All they do is sit up there and Kung Lao was always going for your throat. Always. Liu Kang was the one, hey, and then until Mortal Kombat 11, no, Mortal Kombat 9, he's just like, yo, Raiden, I'm burnt toast. I'm burnt toast. He came back as a revenant, man. Liu Kang was like, yo, forget this.
Hmm.
So man,
Like,
Raiden
I mean,
had it
because
coming to him, boy.
I just
that's the
hope that
thing.
they're
Like, this could be Raiden's redemption arc, right?
Yeah.
Raiden's
Mm,
he's rightfully so, been the subject of slander these past couple of Mortal Kombat games as being
jeez,
useless.
boy.
This might be the time to redeem him as a character. I just want to know how you guys feel about, like, again, Kung Lao once again taking the backseat of he's good,
If
he's competent,
if
but he's not
if
like he's not that
if they
guy.
do it, if they do what Tim suggests, they turn him into Fujin, then they'll be okay. I think he'll redeem himself in one way or another. Because if that's gonna be Raiden, because my thing is like, how are you gonna stop the force of Scorpion and Sub-Zero? They're gonna be problems, especially these young guys are gonna develop into crazier magic. Like just expect it. Once they get the cowl, once they start, because this game, they're good. You see the young guy, but once they start going full mask, dog, we don't know what type of havoc they're gonna, they're gonna create, man. I just feel it, man. What if Bihan actually becomes a frozen noob Saibot? We don't know. It might be Smoke. It might be.
It makes sense. It makes sense to make Smoke because, like, when he
Smoke,
showed up, I was like, yeah, he's definitely that little brother who gets killed.
Yeah, and then and again in the play for power takes on the demon and Enra and becomes Noob Smoke. Boom.
Yeah,
Wow.
because it did really make sense. Like, all right, as a revenant, so like, all right, your power is shadow. Like, you basically do the shadow clone jutsu. And then I was like, so yeah, it makes more sense with Smoke. Like, Smoke is fog, Smoke is vapor, Smoke is you can literally become the embodiment of shadow. Like, you can materialize into smoke, consume a person. Like, so I do feel like the noob Saibot will be resurrected in some form of way because I think that's the reason why we see the demon characters, because you could tell the Brotherhood of Shadow, which is Quan Chi of the Netherrealm, that's going to make a return. And remember, he's the one who does like the revenants and stuff like that. He was the one who created Scorpion. He was the one who created Noob Saibot. So, like, yes, I definitely feel, and then especially when you read Smoke's bio, oh, he did not possess the supernatural abilities of his elder brothers.
Mm.
Give him
Yeah.
supernatural powers. So
Yeah.
basically, he just using fine ninja man, like ninja vanish, boom. Give him powers.
And who was he voiced by? You think it was a coincidence? Sasuke, who went searching for darker powers.
Oh, man, that's
Yuri
crazy.
Lowenthal, Sasuke himself.
Oh, so now he's
Makes
gonna
all the sense in the world.
definitely gonna be a big threat, man. I think, yeah, man. Rain to me has always been a disappointment, dog.
What?
What?
Yeah, like he's never been the Edenian that I thought he would be, man.
Well, he might be this round.
Yeah,
Yeah, actually, I get where you're coming from. He
yeah,
always was he got sidelined very quickly. And I
yeah,
was very disappointed about that in Mortal Kombat X. I was like, so that's it for Rain? Like,
yeah.
Okay,
It
I
was
see what you're saying.
just
I thought you meant more as as a character.
he's like a
I'm like,
Kodo
as a
Khan. He didn't really. He's not as
no.
bad as Kodo
no,
Khan.
Yeah.
He's not as bad as Kodo Khan, but
no.
man, that was a good new character design, and they just
Yeah.
man, that dude was worse than Raiden in part 2, man. Annihilation, Annihilation Raiden is what made Raiden trash for every other game. As soon as he turned Annihilation Raiden, the game continuity said, you know what, let's do this with Raiden. Yeah, but
Few things are as bad as Kotal
boy,
Khan.
that's why Jade's not coming back, huh? Man. So
She
anyway,
had to take the L.
yeah, she had to take that out.
With her man.
Yeah, boy. I think, man,
I think Rain was fine. I like his, and they even went a step further, giving him more of an elevated status this time around. Like he's the
head
mage essentially.
mage of
Yeah, the head mage of
Outworld.
the High Court. Yeah, I think it's fine. It's a little weird to see him as a wizard, but when I saw the gameplay, I was like, that's
it's
a little
okay. It's cool.
Yeah.
They could. I
It's
just wish his
different.
costume was a little better. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Yeah.
it makes sense because, like, all right, first of all, look at the Lin Kuei. They're actual ninjas. And yes, we call them the palette swap ninjas, but technically, as you really got to know them, they're really like the second half of them are really not ninjas. You have one dude who's basically a complication of souls, a legion, basically. You have one dude, which Edenians in their lore, they're the children of gods, and that's why they all have magic abilities. But then, technically, Liu Kang just made them. Well, you're just magical creatures, all of you, humans with magic. Boom, call it that. So yes, everybody has a form of magical power. So yes, he is the highest mage. So yes, a magician makes complete sense. You shall not pass, drown.
It does make sense. It takes a little bit getting used to. That's all. Like I think in terms of like the range, because I've liked the way he was done in 9. I love the way he was done in 11. Like I thought
Hmm.
it was a good advancement of that character design. So to kind of see
Even
him introduced this way, I was like, huh, I'm not mad at it, but it's just different.
look at the last Sub Zero movie with Kenshi. Look how they designed Tremor. Tremor is just a out Mad Max looking brute with earth power. So like yeah, the second half of ninjas who were technically never really ninjas, they gave them better identities.
Okay, okay, all right.
So
Any last thoughts on the showcase of the story? Sindel, General Shao, even seeing some of Baraka's gameplay and even Kung Lao's gameplay.
bro, these are some of the best looking stages they've ever had, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like I need this new TV. I need it. I need it. I
Yeah.
need this new TV, bro. Like
Yeah,
that is some beautiful design stages, bro. It's like they heard the remarks from MKX because those were the worst stages we ever had.
mm-hmm.
But like 11 was like a lot of fan base. Like a lot of stuff was like revamped in a way. Remember that one stage where they had the projector and they had the old school stages, like it was called
Yeah,
Retrocade. I was
mm-hmm.
like, bro, that is genius.
Yeah.
And it changes every couple of seconds. So like even when they brought back the Deadpool, the acid and all, I was like, bro, like
Yeah.
yeah, there was a
I I am gonna miss the OG characters though, Jack, Sonya. Um
yeah.
I mean you say that because you probably didn't play as them, but
No,
people for
I
people,
was
yeah.
I was a heavy Jax player, bro.
He
Oh, okay,
was,
But
okay.
the, but then
especially
in
9,
this
which I did not understand. 'Cause I hated that version of Jax. Tim played Jax pretty heavily.
Which Jax?
yeah,
Which
like
version of Jax? 11?
Of
I played
9, Mortal Kombat 9,
Oh
Jax.
yeah, yeah.
9 and 11. Yeah, I played with Jax heavily,
11
bro.
Jax?
11
Man,
Jax
his
was,
trailer?
yeah.
Oh man.
The fact
Even
that,
his gimmick of like heating up his arms to give him more
Yeah,
yes,
strength.
yeah.
Hmm.
bro. Like I said, so much depth, bro. But yeah, man, like these stages, beautiful, bro. Like
Yeah.
just beautiful.
Yeah,
Yo, Kenshi,
it's
man.
probably
Jeez.
it's probably the
From the
first Mortal
gameplay,
Kombat
that's
I've
yeah,
seen in
yeah.
a while where I want to play as every character. Like some characters you're just like, maybe.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
one I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I want to pick Baraka, and I have not thought about that in years.
Yeah.
Like I want to pick
Nobody has.
Baraka. Yeah, no one
Man.
has.
I'm
Anytime I
just
see him do that
man,
little spinning blade flip, I'm like, I want to pick this guy.
yeah, man. Oh man, that was the best Kano we ever got in 11. They gave you movie Kano. That
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
greatest Kano of all time, dog. Man, I felt dirty just looking at him, dog.
No, because and that exactly what his fighting style was. Like when you saw his X-ray, I was like, bro, like this dude is like you don't know what's gonna come out and just stab you in the
Hmm.
face. Like you do
The
not know
blade
what's.
boot, the stabbing you between the tendons and the joints, and it's like, yeah, it was, it was.
He
Yeah.
was a
I guess
brute.
if that's their send off for now, I'll take it. I see what you're saying, Joy, about the whole legend classic characters, but I think the thing with Mortal Kombat is like they've done a compared to most long term franchises, done a really good job of establishing dope characters. So it's like even though we're getting a roster of about 24 playable characters, who do you pick as a staple at this point? You know, it is it's just a little funky that obviously with the reboot, Jackie gets eliminated by default. There is no Jax. There is no Jade. You're just like, So just Tanya as the black person. Okay. But I think in terms of staple characters, it's like who do you pick? Right? Because you could easily make a starting roster of just staple characters. You throw in
Man,
Jack Sonya, that's two more characters. Like the amount of bare minimum roster starts at like 18 of must-haves.
Yeah.
And that gets tricky. So
Yeah, I mean, story-wise, I hope Umaga might be in the next game. He's not going to be in this one, I don't think.
No,
he's gonna be in this game.
it's a definite, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's gonna be in this game.
It's too many hints, bro. It's too many hints.
What's okay? Now we didn't talk about Shang Tsung. That was interesting. What they did.
That
with
was
Shang Tsung.
great. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
That was.
Snake
I'm
oil
like, boy, Liu
salesman.
Kang is petty, boy.
Yeah,
Petty.
snake oil salesman. But he's still trash. He's still trash.
And that's what we were saying in like in a previous podcast. Like Mortal Kombat also has the idea of canon events of no matter what you change, this is this person to their core. Shang Tsung is a snake. No matter what timeline you put him in, he will find a way to be scum. That's it. No redemption arc for Buddy.
My daughter died. Well, it couldn't have been my medicine. It works. Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying?
Straight scumbag, yo, no matter what.
It showed no remorse. I already got beat up. You want to beat me up again? That's fine. I'm like, yo, you.
All I want is the cart in the jungle as a stage.
We might get it. There's been a couple clearing cutscenes in the game. You never know. We're clearly getting like an Adenia proper stage this time around, so that's kind of cool.
No, we got plenty of Denia stages, bro. It's like we got plenty, bro. Like even Johnny Cage's mansion, bro. I was like, bro, that is
you mean
beautiful.
Tony Stark's mansion?
Bro, that is beautifully designed, bro. Like beautifully designed.
Yeah. Ed Boon might be one of the best company shows that we've ever had.
Oh no, he is.
Like, now that I think about it,
they revamped the Living Forest, and then you have a corrupted version of it, where it's like the Netherrealm fire and all that other stuff. So like, yeah, bro, like this Mortal Kombat is looking pretty good, man.
Yeah,
man.
I just hope they balance the story, bro, because you're pulling villains left and right now.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good. I think we're gonna get at least, if Raiko's confirmed to be in the game, they're gonna go the villain route with him.
He's there.
No, he hasn't been confirmed.
He hasn't been confirmed, bro.
We've seen.
It's an assumption because from the leak cutscene, Li Mei fights him, and we already know that Motaro is the cameo, so it's assumed that Raiko will be in the game, but he hasn't been confirmed.
Okay.
We don't know as a fact.
What do you guys think he's gonna play like?
Kano.
Yeah.
He's going to be like the military style brute, bro, because you can't make him Shang Tsung Jr. Shao Kahn Jr. You can't. Yeah. You can't.
Because even with Garrus and Shao Kahn's moveset, you could see elements of Jax's moveset in Shao Kahn's moveset. So
you mean Garrus?
No, both. Like I think both Garrus and Shao Kahn pulled from Jax's moveset in different ways.
How so?
So, for example, they did a clip with the combat cast where once even when you have the axe, you could put the axe down or hold the axe, and Shao Kahn has Shao Kahn has a ground pound that Jax had.
Oh, okay.
A full screen ground pound. He has grapples. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a spirit. He's
which would make sense. He's a brute character, and to be honest, he's literally like the first. Yeah, because Baraka is more like a rush down brute. So now you actually have an actual like tank type of brute.
With the weapon stance.
So I definitely feel like if Raiko is in the game, he's definitely going to be more like a dagger type of character, I feel. Because his costume is very similar to General Shao, so it's kind of like gotta really throw some different elements out there.
And I think they're also aware of like with the absence of a playable Kano, of a playable Sonya and Jax, you need to have those elements of those characters in this roster, right? So the fact that Li Mei plays very similar to Sonya, I don't think is a mistake. It's like, you're not getting Sonya, but you're gonna have Sonya's legacy lives on in this character.
You make sense because like all cameo footage that I've seen of Kano, I've mostly seen the little laser version of Kano, like zap.
And
Or
the
like,
heart fatality. That's pretty much it.
yeah,
Yeah, so that'd be my thought. I think there's going to be elements of him that just continues that legacy, so to speak, of these characters that won't be in the game.
yeah.
Before we get to our last topic of the night, Jory, Starfield in about 2 weeks. You nervous?
No.
Any anticipation? Any hesitancy? Any?
Well, I mean, if it caused Sony to make it an exclusive, I think they already saw what the game would be. If it really made Sony like, yo, this Bethesda game, we have to own it. And Microsoft says, well, a reverse trap card, we bought it. You know what I'm saying? So if they were gonna do that, I'm led to believe that Starfield is definitely gonna be something, because it was technically already done. So I think Starfield's gonna be exactly what everybody was fighting for behind the scenes of the war. And to be honest with you, I'm not a Bethesda guy. This deal does nothing for me. It's good for Xbox, but this deal does nothing for me. It doesn't. Like the games I care about, Gears of War, is not no word of that. The games I care about is Halo. You already know it's better now, but you saw how that started. And those are only the first person shooters. Other than that, I'm an adventure guy, man. I play games that Tales of Arise. I want my Devil May Cries. I want my Ninja Gaidens. I want my adventure story modes. I'm not gonna play a Baldur's Gate. It does nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that people who like Baldur's Gate are having the time of their lives, but it's not for me. I'm a Mass Effect guy. Cyberpunk is a game I want, but I want to play that game in third person. That game is not in third person. I don't want to spend my time. I'm already in first person in real life, and I got to do it in the game. You know what I'm saying?
But doesn't Starfield have a third person feature?
It does. Oh yeah, but even with that, I'm still like, I'm on the fence because it's like, you're gonna give me this robust world, but I can't. There's no humanoids, just alien creatures, and So I don't know. I don't.
It's a live service game, though, bro. Yeah, that might be
Yeah.
expansion pack 2 for all we know.
Probably. But so far, I'm happy for whoever's gonna purchase the game and enjoy themselves, man. So I'm not really nervous.
I'm just curious.
Yeah, no company does that unless it's gonna give you Fortnite numbers or like Call of Duty Warzone anticipation. You got your new Lego Minecraft game. Nobody does that unless it's gonna be that big of a deal, like a Roblox or something. So
yeah,
nah.
And do we have any thoughts about Call of Duty releasing the Nicki Minaj Snoop Dogg pack of skins?
Guys, I don't know what's man.
It's
I don't
too
even
much.
know.
It's too much, man. It's too much.
I saw Lady Gaga's in the game, right?
That I haven't seen, but the Nicki Minaj trailer was all over the place, and I was like, wow.
That was crazy, man.
Because I get it, like their multiplayer is adding a little bit more arcade comic type of elements. But then, because I remember I logged on my PS5 the other night, and I was like, you know what? Let me look at what DLC Modern Warfare 2 has, and that's all it is. It's just custom skins, and all that other stuff. So it's definite. All that stuff is there for microtransaction purposes, and that's why, like, I feel I'm a much more of a Battlefield person, because I feel like it's just hardcore warfare squad gameplay versus gimmicks.
Yeah. I got you.
I agree.
It's just, I guess, like, for me, I'm like, it's weird because in hindsight, if you think about Call of Duty, all of it, as out of place as it is, it kind of makes sense. Like, you guys remember the old Call of Duty commercials where they just show random celebrities of all types of, all over the place playing Call of Duty?
Those were
Sway
fine.
Lee jumping out of a plane.
Yeah.
They were dope. So like it does feel in line with the brand, but it's just like, am I seriously supposed to believe, and no shade or shot at either of them, like, am I supposed to believe that Nicki Minaj and Snoop Dogg are playing Call of Duty? Do you really expect me to
Snoop
believe
Dogg,
that?
yes. Snoop
I
Dogg,
mean,
yes. Mickey, no.
Snoop Dogg seems like he has time for everything in the world. This man will do a
I follow this
commercial,
guy. This man is a
perform
Madden.
live.
Like I believe Snoop Dogg.
Him
Yes,
maybe.
Snoop Dogg was featured in a Tekken game. Like you know,
Yeah, he had
that's my
he had a
background
stage.
theme song for Tekken Tag. Turn it on right now. I fade him, knock him out. I fade
Snoop,
him. Run it, homie.
Snoop
Yeah,
Dogg will find a way. You're right. You're right.
yeah, yeah. Like
I'll walk some of that back. I do.
I absolutely believe Snoop Dogg 1,000%.
He
1,000%.
somehow, some way will make you feel like he's been a fan of the food collab, the cooking collab, the
Yeah, we
TV
gonna act like
collab.
50 Cent. We gonna act like 50 Cent don't have a hand of gold himself because his Blood on the Sand video game, kid,
That was definitely him.
bruh. I could not believe that game was fire.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yo. So it's like, man, me and Lloyd Blank's about to clap these terrorists, dog. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah. Fair enough. Okay, I just while you mentioned, I was like, you know what? It did cross my timeline. I was like, huh? Okay.
yeah,
Nicki
Snoop
Minaj
Dogg,
with the pink
absolutely.
machine gun. All right. All right. So for our last segment of the night, Jory brought up this topic for segments of the evening, and it's fighting games that you would like to see do a separate genre spinoff. Now we're already kind of running a little bit longer than usual for the pod, so we're kind of limited to one fighting game suggestion per person. Jory, since you did come up with this topic, what would be, your one franchise that you think would have a legitimate shot with another genre of game?
Mortal Kombat.
Okay, and I'm assuming
100%.
a Shaolin Monks too. That's my assumption.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Go ahead, bro.
Absolutely. Kid, the world is so vast. Look, we
Mm.
just talked about lore and the possibilities of everything happening. When I played Deception and Armageddon Story, I didn't care about Tavon, but then Taven and his brother's conflict, I was interested. Like, they sold me. Like, yeah, the game mechanics was in fire, but man, you was like, man, had they had all this in place, it would have been perfect. I think the lore, the world, we're going to these worlds. The thing with Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, when you went to these worlds, when you jumping through them portals, you're like, yo, this is amazing, man. I didn't know I needed this. You go to the Earthrealm Temple, and you had the little mini game, test your might. Then the fatalities live. Outworld, the flesh pits, the places that you go to throughout Mortal Kombat 9, 10, and 11, they were all the crypt. Going through the crypt, and all of a sudden, Ermac falls down and gets killed on spikes. I'm like, man, this you could have been expanded upon the game's lore and gone into more depth. The thing with Mortal Kombat was so interesting is like you'll be playing Deception, you'll run around, and you'll see Ermac run across in the distance, and you'll go follow Ermac, and after that you find out Ermac left you a surprise, a costume. If you follow him, you know what I'm saying? You didn't know that, yo. If you could actually find Sub-Zero in the Earthrealm Forest, and if you punch him, it's an automatic fight. Or just these little surprises. The world, because Deception proved that a Mortal Kombat world can exist. You had the interactions with the NPCs, the hilarious interactions with the NPCs. You had the tasks. Even though it was short and fast, the tasks were interesting. They were engaging. They did what they needed to do. Now you take this gameplay and you turn it into a seafood. You turn it into there's so many games that exist for you to borrow from to actually like have an excuse to make it.
But that's the problem, bro. You also one thing that also sells the most, bro, is innovation. Like, yes, you're taking things from existing properties, but that could go very left very, very, very quickly. And so innovation is one thing that also like just keeps things coming back. Because you don't always want to say like, oh, that's just like this, that's just like that. Look at the Soul series. They've revamped, they've done that style so many times. It's to the point where people are like, bro, another Souls-like game. Yes, people are
Okay.
gonna buy it. They're gonna buy it to test it out because out of natural curiosity. But it's the fact that where's the innovation? The replay value and the online connectivity, which is community, your word. Where is
Okay.
that?
Now, do any of you guys own a Pirate Warriors game?
You know I do.
He
Okay,
does.
that's a Dynasty Warriors.
Hmm.
What's the difference? They just changed the skin. They don't really innovate. You're just playing with One Piece characters. That's the you have
They
specials.
innovated.
They probably
They
have
innovated.
in their own way,
Hmm.
but at the heart of it, what is it? A Dynasty Warriors game.
Hmm.
I'm not complaining. They make it unique enough for it to take place. Mortal Kombat in its right self is already unique enough for it to not fall into that. It's not like you're giving it to a inexperienced bunch of people. These are people trying to copy what the Form Software games are doing. These are no names. And in their infancy, Neo doesn't count because their stage design is trash. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Ghost of Tsushima. What do we
I'm, raise,
liken that to?
I'm raising my hand because you're a teacher. So,
Okay,
all right,
go ahead.
all right. Now,
Yeah.
but the place where WB Discovery is right now, which is bleeding money because of a
Mhm.
lot of things going south, do you feel that that would be a property that they would actually want to fund to see, knowing that it's not going to pull the same numbers as a centralized fighter?
Now, business wise, since they're bleeding money, of course not. That's not wise to do right now. But in the future, why not? We already put in money into the animation. We got 2 movies about the Mortal Kombat universe that we didn't ask for,
Fair.
and a movie coming out that to me was released on a COVID budget, and I don't think it's gonna be any better, you know. But they still did it, so it's like,
That's that's the only movie we're about to see another Black Jade in.
you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? They
Oh my
still did it. Um,
gosh.
they still did it. So now I'm like, people are asking for Charlotte Monks. Ed Boon is a wise enough guy. These guys pay enough attention to detail. They can pull it off. They gave you the crypt with the graphics that it had. Even though you were running around and just looking, it was more like a museum, a history thing. It was just a little fun. They could.
Technically, they did give us Shaolin monks, and they gave it to us in a version of story mode where you
They
switch
did.
between Liu Kang and Kung Lao,
There's
and
a
that's
chapter
where it
dedicated
goes
to
back to
Shaolin
what I
monks.
said to you: spiritual successors.
The chapter is even called Shaolin monks in the story.
Yes, yes, bro, and that's
But as far as the gameplay, it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not that. That's why it doesn't really count. Like I can't I can't be like, yo, a spiritual successor to Halo, and now Master Chief fights like Terminator, or you know what I'm saying, and be like, yo, that's the spiritual successor to Halo.
Master Chief
that,
versus aliens
You
from
know what I'm
Alien
saying?
bro.
Covenant.
Like
That's
it.
that's that's entirely different, bro. Like you can't
Well, which
compare
that's
Master
that's what
Chief
I'm
to Blade.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like it's completely different because it's not an adventure fighting game.
Yes,
Adventure
it is,
story
bro,
mode.
because it's an adventure story mode with the Shaolin
Nah.
monks.
As far as the gameplay, so then now I'm gonna get into the technicalities of the camera not being behind you. You know what I'm saying? The 360 camera view. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
It's not side scrolling. That's what I mean. There I have you. That's what I mean.
okay.
That's the Shaolin monks I'm talking. When the
Okay.
Shaolin monks I'm talking about is not presented within a fighter, presented within its own realm, when it's in own mechanics. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think they could do it. I think that's the game I would like to see.
All
I
right.
would say, I guess it would make the most sense for the Mortal Kombat universe, especially since it's already been established that Shaolin Monks is a universe unto itself. And we've seen, even in the one reboot, right, that we're getting a mode in which Scorpion travels between different universes trying to find his wife in a timeline where she's still alive. Technical difficulties, but we back. Jory was just finishing up his thoughts on why he feels like Shaolin Monks 2 could be something that existed. Tim, you made the point, which you did talk about during in the group chat when we kind of mentioned the idea for the segment of, financially, it's tricky because it's these, for as big as gaming is now a multi-million, possibly even hitting $1 billion industry at this point. There's a lot of money involved, a lot of stakes involved, and I think, even with Mortal Kombat, you're starting to see that, yeah, Injustice 3 got delayed because they wanted a sure thing. Mortal Kombat 10 and 11 sold significantly better than Injustice 1 and 2. So you roll out another Mortal Kombat because you have a better chance of getting a return, or a higher return, let me say, on the money put out for it.
And also, I kind of feel like Injustice got delayed because DC is in a very weird place right now. Even though, yeah, technically it's its own story, but like you did kind of tell, like, due to the current climate that DC was in, that reflected into the character roster, bro. Because, bro, like the roster for Injustice 1 to compare to Injustice 2, night and day, bro. Night and day.
There's been
It's
arguments that
like,
Injustice 1 had a better roster, even though, in terms of, I'll say in terms of character favorites, let me say, I think Injustice 2 had a more diverse roster, right? You got
way
more,
better diverse.
yeah, it went better into the DC universe. But in terms of like, if you're appealing to like your casual superhero fighter, it made sense why they went so Bat family heavy in the first game. You
Yeah.
basically play as everybody: Batman, Nightwing, Batgirl. You know, but yeah, you're right. I think Warner Brothers, and maybe that's a segment for another time. Of like, I don't Warner Brothers, for as many golden properties as they have, for them to be having so much turmoil is just, it's such a head scratcher. It's just like, bro, you guys have three of the most recognizable superheroes in your pocket.
And then your best storylines are coming from your video games. So you wouldn't watch an Injustice storyline and say it's better than a lot of the DC movies that came out?
Honestly, it depends on what era of DC movies we're talking about. Because there
Yeah.
was a time where the DC movies was, or sorry,
Oh,
DC
yeah,
animated movies was,
Oh, okay.
you know,
Okay.
you'd be looking forward to that.
I think Injustice story, the game story was fire.
Right, but then they fumbled the movie.
Yeah.
So
Oh
that's what
no,
I'm saying.
the movie, the movie. We can't talk about the movie. The movie was
Trash.
But that's what I'm saying. It's
man.
like, bro, all you had to do was copy
And I
and
like the art
paste.
style. I like the art style, and it was just. And not only that, you had stuff that happened in the comic book that didn't happen in the. Like you didn't don't touch the property. Why do they don't touch the property if you're gonna do that? Injustice is not something that could have been a movie anyway. Let's be real. It couldn't have been a movie. So you
Injustice
could have probably
was,
did a little mini. It was a series. So
yeah, it was.
couldn't have-
That is
you can't
the standalone reason why you should not split up your properties that way.
do that. Like,
You can't have the tie-in comic that also has events that weren't in the game. That also has events that were, you know, like it needs to be one continuity through one media.
Yeah, but these guys, I don't know.
All they
if it's
see is
the-
dollar signs. That's
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
and they don't because they don't think. They wind up not seeing the dollar signs. So there you go, man.
yeah. But Jory's thing would be Shaolin Monks too. I said in the group chat that I that wouldn't necessarily be my pick, but I would agree that I think out of all the bigger fighting game franchises, that it would have the best chance of success. Like the blueprint stuff is already there. It's already established as its own continuity. I think there's a lot of things you could do with the realms. Given what went into making that game, that they basically had to slap it together to have a yearly release, makes it even more amazing that it came out as good as it did. You know, so I think if they ever decided to branch out again, Shaolin Monks 2 would be what I would like to see from NetherRealm Studios.
Yeah,
As
or
well,
if not, just give us a remastered. Give me a remastered, and I'll take that.
with some added content.
If not,
Yeah,
huh? Yeah,
with some added
just
content, because
some-
apparently
give me
there
a
was
remastered.
supposed to be a 2. With
Yeah,
Sub-Zero
with
and
Scorpion
Scorpion.
and Sub-Zero.
Mm-hmm.
Fire and Ice.
But technically, you got that in 11, and that's what the chapter was called. Fire and Ice. Spiritual successor.
Not good enough.
No, that's not good enough. Man.
Okay.
Tim, is there any fighting games that you would like to see approach a story in a different genre?
Say Soul Calibur.
No. Soul Calibur, they tried that, and it went super south.
Oh no, that was horrible, man. Of course. Why you just drop it for the week?
Tekken and Soul Calibur tried that, and it went downhill. It went super downhill. There's one fighting game franchise that has already done it, and it was very successful. I just would like a number 2 of it, and that is Blaze Blue Cross Tag Battle. I still hold by my statement. That has been the best tag fighter ever since Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Okay. I mean, I didn't play it
For
because
for, ana- for anime fighters, like
mm,
bro, like it had so much potential, bro. So much potential. And like when I played it, it's like I instantly fell in love with it. Like you finally introduced Ruby, but then the Ruby never had a fighting game universe.
mm,
So that was the first time you was able to play with those characters. And it was just a wild ride, bro. People loved it. But you only had 5 Ruby characters and you had like 20 Blaze Blue characters. You had
well, you got to go
Persona
with the
4
proven
Arena.
property.
You had Persona 4 Arena. You had Under Night and Birth. So basically, it was Arc Systems Works tag fighter of all their different properties, bro. That made sense. Like all these universes, you were able to connect them in some form of a way. And when I say, bro, that was one of the best tag fighters I've ever played, bro. People have been saying, and it has rollback netcode too. People have been saying, bro, like, give us more characters, give us more characters. At this point, just give me a number 2, bro. Just give me a number 2, and I will be so happy.
Okay, so essentially, you wouldn't want them to do something a different genre. You just want to see them lean more heavily into the crossover
Yeah,
style of fighter.
yeah, like, cause they showed it worked. Like, bro,
Hmm.
that took things by storm. It was one of the save us games for the fighting game community around the time, alongside Under Night. Yes, it had some controversy due to DLC, but bro, I'm a late buyer. So when I bought that 2.0 version with all the characters, bro, I had a blast,
Because I
absolute
think that was the
blast.
reason why I ignored it at the initial launch. I'm like, again, their developers, Arxis Works, like they've always had roster issues where it's like I remember it launched and I was like, this is the roster for a full price game. Anyway, and I just never thought about it ever again. So, like of course on the back end for it to make more sense, it's typical. I did buy like Guilty Gear Rev 2 with everything. I was like, oh, this game
Yes,
is a lot of fun.
yeah. And that's why, like, when it comes to Art Systems Works, I'm always a late buyer because I feel like that's where you get your more bang for your buck. Oh,
Mm,
here's this Ultimate Edition for $49.99.
with
Bought
everything.
it. Or especially if it's during like them evil sales, like, oh, $20. Bought.
Jory, why you got the stuck face right now?
Blaze Blue, dog.
Yes, yes. No, nah, bro. Don't do that, bro. Don't do that,
I'm
bro.
just asking.
It
I'm just
has
asking. I'm just
amazing lore, and it actually goes deep into the lore. Characters have so much depth to them, and is a tag fighter with other properties in it, bro. Bro, you cannot beat that game, bro. That was a hidden gem in the fighting game community, bro. Hidden gem.
because once I see Ruby in anything, dog, I want to like throw it to the wayside.
It makes you scratch your head,
Yeah,
right? A little bit.
yeah, because like,
Because the thing is,
nah,
like, I think Ruby has really good character designs. I think the concepts of their fighting abilities is cool. But I'm like, I saw something. This was literally like 2 days ago. Like they're doing like a Ruby Justice League crossover movie, and I was like,
No,
is Ruby this popular?
no,
Am I
that
bugging?
that has me confused. Like,
Okay, okay.
and that's why, like, with certain crossovers, it has to make sense. It has to make sense, like, bro, like,
yeah, like when people say Blaze Blue, I just be like, oh, okay, that's the, you just see the. I would look at the bathroom where it says male, it say female, and then you see, well, I'll stop right there. But anyway,
yeah, yeah, please,
I
like,
was,
hold on, hold
yeah,
on,
yeah.
hold on, hold on.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Nah,
just like
bro, Blaze,
I just
Blaze Blue is a fantastic franchise, bro. It has its issues, like everything else, but that is an amazing franchise, bro.
My issue
Like,
with it,
for
as always, will always go back to the roster.
yeah,
Always. It was a lot of their initial rosters for the Blaze Blue franchise have been a slap in the face.
But
for
bro,
like
that's
content
central. But
wise.
that's Central Fiction roster though, over 40 characters. Nah, that's why I said late buyer. I bought the final game in the franchise, and that roster is thick.
Okay, okay. I
Okay.
wouldn't. Yeah, like I wouldn't have expected the Blaze would be the choice, but
Okay.
okay. Okay. You know, I think it's fair to want another big crossover fighter. I think it's we shouldn't always have to leave it to Capcom to pull out the big old crossovers. I think it's definitely possible
Exactly,
for other
and
companies to do so.
thank you for elaborating on that. That is also a very fair point. Like, bro, like this has been the best crossover like since that era. Like, yeah, Tatsunoko versus Capcom, it was stylish.
Hmm.
It was stylish, but it was a one hit wonder, and that's it.
I think
Okay,
it's also because it came out on the Wii. That's what killed it too.
that played a
Like
part.
I'm
That played a
Yeah,
part. Yeah, yeah.
come on, like nah.
I I
That be the
appreciate
heavy part.
I will say I appreciate Nintendo's ambition during that time. They weren't they,
Yeah.
like compared to how they've handled the Switch rollouts, the Wii was probably the most ambitious they've ever been. We're gonna get you guys an exclusive fighter. Bayonetta now belongs to Nintendo. Like they did things that like they tried to establish themselves as we're more than just Mario and Zelda. You know, so I respect that. I
And they hurt
respect.
Bayonetta too.
yeah.
They hurt. I forgot that I had the game.
I bet you did.
Yeah,
I bet
I
you did.
forgot I bought the game.
Yeah, I had to get it on Switch. I had to wait
When
years
you
to play
when
that game.
forgot I bought the game. No,
Yeah.
oh, I mean Bayonetta 3. They hurt Bayonetta 3
Oh
tremendously.
no, they hurt two also.
Tremendously. Yeah. Yeah,
They hurt
2,
two
yeah,
also
definitely.
because it was only on what Wii U, I think. Who
Which
had
was the
that?
best.
God.
Right. Who had that? Who owned the Wii U? You know.
Man.
For my pick, I guess my pick it might be a little bit unconventional as well. But I think that I'm not too sure if I would want Capcom specifically to develop it. But given how much crossovers have been done in that genre, I would like to see some type of Street Fighter beat 'em up with a fleshed out combat system. Like the fact that they took so many Final Fight characters and implemented them into the Street Fighter universe. Mike Haggard is the mayor, you know, of in the Street Fighter universe.
Cody.
Yeah, Cody, right? Like, why not have Ryu, Chun Li, Ken, you know, in a beat 'em up style action adventure game?
You guys remember that Namco game where it was called something region, Dark Region, something like that, and you were playing as a guy and he had like a snake skin.
Mm-mm.
You don't remember that game? It was like almost like a Def Jam Fight for New York, but it was a beat 'em up game. Like
No,
the bouncer. You guys remember the bouncer?
I remember the
no.
bouncer.
Yeah, it was like that. Let me look it up, man.
Yeah.
I know what I'm talking about, man.
I
Y'all
mean, I
never
remember
played
the
that game?
bouncer. I remember bouncer. I remember they had another fighting game called like Aikido or Jakido or something like that. That was pretty popular at that time. Um, Capcom had a lot of like really interesting offsets. Remember Energize? Uh,
Hmm.
you know, that was their own like one and done fighting game. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I think you know, like I said, beat 'em ups are going through a renaissance,
A
a
revival.
revival. You know, Shredder's Revenge showed that it could be done well, right? With replay value, and I
Mm-hmm.
think you know having it doesn't have to be necessarily like a
Urban
big
Rain.
Urban Rain.
Nah,
Yeah, Urban
I ain't
Rain.
never heard of that, bro.
You guys remember y'all if y'all remember correctly, y'all little Game Informer magazines. Let me blow up the picture. Your little
Nah,
Game Informer
No.
advertisements,
nah.
yeah, man. Man,
Mm-mm.
y'all boys, man. Somebody's gonna remember. I'm
I mean, of
telling you.
course, yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't remember Urban Rain. But yeah, I think
Yeah,
that would
yeah, it
be
was against the game, man.
yeah, I think that would be again just like a yeah, not like a low budget, but just something where it's just like again something along the lines of Shredder's Revenge. It could even just be a alternative take on the Street Fighter storyline. It could end fighting Bison for all I care, but just like a beat 'em up style.
That would actually be very cool. That was actually a very good nod. That would actually be very dope. Cause like yeah, I was very surprised of like how just Street Fighter just absorbed all these Final Fight characters. So I was like, so Final Fight is never coming back. And then you would think after the success of Streets of Rage 4, I was like, well, okay. So
Let's
yeah,
try this again.
yeah. So but they brought Ninja Turtles back. I mean, Ninja Turtles is pretty good. I still feel like the art style they could have leveled up a little bit more. Because I can't like when I look at Streets of Rage, you could tell it was like beautifully pixelated, but it
Hmm.
was mature enough. And I feel like so you couldn't do the turtles like that.
So you're saying you want a Street Fighter game that kind of plays like Lost Judgment or Yakuza?
No,
No,
no.
no,
I'm saying
no,
I
like
want a
Streets of Rage.
2D side scroller, like
Oh,
Streets
a
of
2D
Rage,
side
and
scroller. Okay.
a modern beat 'em up. Honestly, wall bounces with juggling villain characters, special moves.
Okay. How about that
Um,
SNK game that's for mobile? You guys ever played that? Where they have a whole bunch of guest characters. You can play as Jin Kazuma. You can play as
No.
mm-mm.
no? Yeah, yeah. You can play as Ryu, I think. It's an SNK
I wouldn't be surprised. You can play as
mobile
Ryu and
game.
everything. You can play as
Yeah,
Ryu Exo Primal, apparently. So,
Really?
yeah.
yeah, him and Gal are coming as DLC for Exo Primal. So,
Oh yeah, I seen that. I seen that.
yeah,
Yeah,
Ryu
that's
Mech and Guile Mech. So,
I heard Exo Prime was fun, so
I've heard that too. You know,
yeah, so no
but
complaints.
yeah, I just think that that would just be cool. I think that's something that you know. I don't want it a mobile style. I think mobile games, while I do understand their place in the industry,
Hmm.
and why they continue to be made, and to be to be fair, they're being made a lot better than they used to be. Yeah, I just think a beat 'em up style, rich with Street Fighter lore. You could do 20 characters easily from the Street Fighter Final Fight universe.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah,
and technically with that style, you won't really care about how deep the roster is.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know, you're not gonna be like, oh, what? Where's DJ? Where's Dudley? Like you're not gonna care if in a beat 'em up style game. You're just gonna want variety. Throw in some
Hmm.
villain characters that's playable. Vega, Bison, um, Gil. Like just characters that bring something unique to the beat 'em up genre, and that'd be my pick. I think Capcom is on enough of a hot streak where I think if done well, um, it'd be cool.
True. No, that was definitely a good pick. And I feel like the one company who's like the king of like spin-offs right now is Pokemon. Like for example, bro, a lot of their spin-offs have done very, very well. But I feel like the one spin-off that they're just not taking full advantage of is Pokemon Tournament. To this day, bro, like a Pokemon fighter of that caliber, bro, I was like, bro, like watching the tournaments, bro, I was like, wow, this is really very intriguing gameplay
Hmm.
to like to see like and it's like every character has so much depth. Like, bro, when you pick Gengar, it was like, bro, I was scared for the person, bro, because it's like Gengar is such a unorthodox character that you don't know what's gonna come. Like
Hmm.
Sceptile was like the Roanor Zoro of lizards. Like the man just going across the stage, slashing you up with his little leaf blade, like slamming the ground, and next thing you know, roots come up and just spike you up in the air, and it's like,
Hmm.
bro, like this is very intriguing. And then Blastoise was, of course, the Mizukage.
Yeah, the tankish character just hype up everything.
Everything, bro, everything. It
I
was it
think
was a beautiful.
I think where they made the mistake for that game, if they would ever do like Pokken 3 or can just continue the Pokken series, is that they need to kind of streamline the roster. I think some of their choices for Pokemon characters was a little bit too off. Where it's just like there was a couple of choices where you're like, like
They
you.
they
Go ahead.
made great decisions with the starters and the
Hmm.
pseudo legendaries
Hmm.
like
I would
Lucario,
agree.
Garchomp, Charizard, Blaziken, Blastoise. Like yeah, like even Gardevoir, like as a magic psychic zoner. I was like, bro, that makes so much sense,
Hmm.
so much sense. Like yeah, like there were certain characters that I couldn't really get jiggy with, but yeah, but like most of that roster, bro, I was like, bro,
Yeah. That was like I think I said my only thing was like I think it could because again you're looking to appeal to casuals, right? You're looking to appeal to someone who wants to see Pokemon fights done in a different way, So you do need. I think we talked about this one time before. Like the fact that, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're not in the game. Whereas Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee, you
Yes.
know, that it a Pokken fighter with no Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee, like come
No
on,
primate.
yeah, like.
Like bro, like Hitmonlee is Eddie Gordo, bro. Like come on, like how do you not see that? Like
It's Eddie Gordo. He's a little bit of law. Like it's right there.
No,
Like
he's definitely law, man.
you know what I'm saying?
Hitmo top would be Eddie Gordo.
yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
said. Hitmontop. Yeah, that's what
Oh,
I
you
said.
said
The
Hitmo
hit,
top. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
or they say Hitmonlee. I heard Hitmonlee also.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's just there's a certain Pokemon characters that was like Tekken style fighting game. Y'all have
Yeah,
already
like
done
cause
a
like
version of this character.
because
Where
people
are
have
they?
said it. People have said it. People have said this for years. Gen 1 had the best fighting Pokemon. Like Hitmonchan like has all the elemental punches. Like Hitmonlee is like this berserk kicking style lunging character. Machamp. Goro. Goro
Mm-hmm.
with a belt. Is Goro with a belt. Primeape is the
Zangief.
prime
Zangief.
Primeape is the berserker.
Mm-hmm.
Poliwrath is kind of like a
Nah,
sub
that was a
a,
fire
a
Pokemon, dog.
submission version or like a wrestling version of Master Roshi. Like he could use hypnosis and just
Blaziken.
power bomb. No, Blaziken is in it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Blaziken, yeah,
Blaziken's in
Blaziken's
it.
in
Yeah,
it.
but even just
Yeah,
like certain characters were just like like you're to me, again from the Gen 1, the unlikely choices, right? The Needle King, you know what I'm saying? Kangaskhan, like, bro, those are your like your
Um,
heavies.
what's his name? What's his name? With the spoon.
Alakazam.
Alakazam.
There's a
Man.
lot. Again, there's a lot of characters. I feel like if they were to approach it again, they could do it in a way that would have,
Magmar.
yeah,
Yeah,
Electabuzz, bro.
Magmar. Oh
well,
boy.
they're evolved forms. Remember, they evolved.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
awful.
yeah. But yeah, I'm just saying like this characters are just like man, like a Thunder Punch,
Magmar's
bro.
evolved form is called what?
Hmm?
Magmar.
Uh,
Magmortar.
yeah.
Magmortar.
Magmortar? Oh,
Yeah.
Hmm.
okay. That's the one that fought Charizard, right? With the seismic toss?
Well, he was Magmar then. Like,
He
remember
was
the
Magmar. Oh, he
yeah.
has another evolution after that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh wow.
Magby, Magmar, and Magmortar.
Wow. I
Yeah.
didn't know.
So I mean, yeah, I wouldn't mind another Pokemon tournament. I just think there's you would have to announce a trailer. Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee. Well, my attention's peaked. What else y'all
Yeah.
got?
There
Like
you go. There you go.
we back.
Because a lot of people want another one, especially 'cause for the two Mega Man characters that they released for Scarlet and Violet. People's like, bro, that's Pokemon Tournament, all like does Pokemon Tournament gold right there, which is true.
Mm. Or even
But
those,
you,
was it like didn't they drop like Ninja Bear, not Ninja Bears, like Karate style bears or something like that in Sword and Shields? Wasn't those like the legendary DLCs?
yes, yes, bro, another yes, those have been the best
Um,
Urshifu,
what's
Yeah.
frog lizard?
Greninja,
Greninja?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Makes all the
yeah,
sense in the world.
yeah. Like no,
Raven.
but bro, those bears, those have been the best fighting Pokemon they've released since Gen 1.
What about the Pokemon with the sumo Pokemon?
Hariyama. Nope,
Yeah.
he's
Oh
not in it.
yeah. Yeah.
Which he would make perfect sense. Perfect sense. But then I get
First
it.
name
Oh
on
my
this
I get it.
roster.
goodness.
But I get it. But I get it.
Wow.
It's a Pokemon game where they don't want they don't want fighting style Pokemon to take it over. I get it. They wanted the roster to be very, very diverse for what it is, and it is. But you gotta add some Pokemon that
But
do make
that's cool
sense.
though.
You do that.
Hmm.
That's actually cool though.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Add Pokemon that do make sense. Bro, a Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, Hitmontop, like, bro, that is common sense.
Mm-hmm.
That is common sense.
And again, it takes your childhood imagination and puts it on full display as an adult.
Full
Like, yeah,
display.
I would want
Because
to see
Char,
a boxing style Hitmonchan.
because one of Charizard's moves is the aerial seismic toss. He grabs you, does a little world. Boom.
When I saw the world, kid, I said, "Yo, that Pokemon is finished, dog."
Even on the Game Boy version, not to its credit, it's in black and white, but with seismic sauce, you get encased in a black bubble, and just HP done.
Done.
Nokia cell phone noises. Yo, man.
Yeah.
Golly, man.
So I mean, we could pretty much wrap things up, I guess, because it just came to me, and I feel like it would be criminal not to throw it into this podcast. The PlayStation Portable.
Dead on arrival. Dead on arrival. Dead on arrival.
It would be criminal not to bring it up.
Save your $200, bro. Save your $200.
So what you do is you cut this half and you put the other half on one end and the other half on the other end.
No.
Then you take a Nintendo Switch tablet, jam that bad boy right in there.
Yeah,
No.
and then
remove
Bluetooth
Bluetooth
for that. The earpieces themselves.
Yeah.
You gotta pay for that. And how much they cost?
$200. No. Yeah, whoever came up with that logic, bro, yeah, you need to be fired because, like, no, that is a disgrace. You are literally spitting on the legacy that PSP and PS Vita did. Like, no.
It's crazy.
You are spitting.
And then,
it's crazy, yo.
No.
I could not believe when they said no Bluetooth. I said, "What?
what?
I already can't leave my house with this."
Yeah, so what's the point?
What?
What is the point, bro? So parents with kids or like gamer parents, like please like read this thing before you buy it. It looks flashy,
Yes,
it looks
'cause
very stylish, but read it because it's like no, it's not.
the only bail I'll shoot them. I'm glad that Sony recognizes the need for a portable way to play the game, but talk about missing the mark in every single aspect. Like, I couldn't believe what I was reading and hearing and watching. I couldn't believe it. Like, all appeal of, like I said to y'all, the scenario of, my girl's watching reality TV, I'm off in the corner playing Spider-Man. Didn't sound too bad. Her turn with the TV or whatever. Cool. But I need the PlayStation headbuds to play it. Not the old PlayStation headbuds, the new PlayStation headbuds to play it. Less battery life than the Switch. Can't leave my house. Got to be attached to Wi-Fi. I might as well read a book. It's cheaper.
Yeah. They can keep that. They can keep that.
They played the boss.
Yeah. So I just I felt like we had to throw that into the pod. We had to. I don't think we could push it back to another week. Now that it's been revealed and named and titled, and we were hoping for a different outcome than what we were given based off the rumors that came out initially. I was like, wow, no, they actually went for it.
And my thing is, like, you couldn't just make another Vita if you were gonna do that.
I mean, you could.
It could be minor upgrades, and then you'll be okay.
Just do the Sony version of a Steam Deck. At that point,
Yeah.
Trash.
And if you're gonna
Trash. Dead on arrival. But yes, guys. Dead on arrival.
Yeah.
Flatline.
Immediately.
Like I don't even want to see the results of the numbers that it like. Don't even do it. Don't even do it.
No sales report, nothing. Just
no.
But are we really surprised though? Like look at what these companies have been doing, man.
We're not. But here's the thing that surprises me, and we'll end this after this end this after you guys' thoughts as well, is that we've now reached a point with Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft where like it's okay to blatantly copy each other, right? I think we reached a point where it's like if Nintendo and Sony said we're gonna hit Control C and Control V on Xbox's Game Pass, nobody would be mad. The way Xbox rolled out Game Pass, it just makes sense. It just makes sense. When it comes to a Steam Deck or even a Nintendo Switch, it's like if Xbox and Sony are not offering something comparable to those two things, don't bother. Don't bother, right? I think the way Sony has handled their version of PlayStation Plus Game Pass and their version of the portables, it's like clearly this is an area in which you guys struggle. We get it. Not everyone's gonna be good at everything. You see what Nintendo and Xbox are doing? Copy it to a T. We just want our own version, the PlayStation version of Xbox Game Pass. We just want our own version. You don't have to re-release the Vita or the PSP. Just make the PS5 Switch. I don't care what you call it. Do the exact same thing. Let me take Spider-Man on the go. That's all I ask. Why can Steam Deck do it and y'all can't? Make it make sense. Yeah. Yeah. Anything else, guys? Yeah. Well, pretty much.
That's it, man. I mean, that left a bad taste in my mouth, man.
I was just very disappointed, man, because I really feel ever since the later cycle of the PS3, the PS4 life cycle, I feel like Sony has really gained a lot of momentum in terms of their gaming properties. Like, yes, the Vita, it has its up and downs, but I did see the potential of it.
Mm-hmm.
And, and it has some good dedication for it in terms of like the games and the developers. But I just did feel like, as a transition of handheld to full-fledged gaming, the Switch just does it better. You guys focus more on heavy, more in-depth console experiences, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. Yes, the PSP was a great era. The PSP was a beautiful era. Yes, things went south because of the whole Universal Game Disc, but it fell apart. It fell apart by design at that time.
Mm-hmm.
It fell apart by design. It's just like, bro, I feel like this is a step backwards, bro. A step backwards. That is a waste of technology, bro. And then I get it. They still trying to experiment with whatever gimmicks that they have. Like, one time it was motion controls. Next is VR, and now there's this.
Remember the PlayStation Move?
Bro.
The wand.
Bro.
Oh, right, even now with the Elite controller, you seen that with the customizable controller? That's like $300 that you can stylize it to your own design. They're releasing like an Elite PS5 controller with removable parts.
Oh, yo, that was like $300, right?
Yeah.
No, bro. No.
Nah, man. No, sir. What game warrants that type of movement anyway? Like,
Exactly.
like with Gears of War, you might need that because it's a third person cover based game. So like the movement is crazy. But for a Sony game, like were you playing Tekken 9? Not like Tekken 9 VR, kid. Like, oh, this is for your thumbs.
Right, because anyone who takes fighting games seriously is going to get a fighting game pad. They're not going to get a deluxe PS5 controller.
Yeah. It looks cool.
It does.
Does it have haptic feedback too or no?
It does. But you know what else looks just as cool? My Spider-Man 2 PS5 controller. That is not $300.
Yeah, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's I don't know.
Yeah.
I just thought it was worth mentioning because it's I don't know.
Dead on arrival.
We'll say that'll be a good dope episode of failed Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo gimmicks throughout the years.
Well, we already named two on this podcast, and that's this Sony thing and the Wii U.
The Wii U, yeah.
What was that, dog? Like, what was the Wii U?
A Switch prototype, I guess. I don't know. Here's your controller, which is also a mini screen, and your game screen.
They said the Switch 2 is gonna charge you $1.20 for all your for you to play your games backwards compatibility.
They gotta walk that back. That would be stupid.
I'm just saying. That's what that's what one of the leaks said. I think
stupid.
Review Tech USA. I watched this video.
It falls in line with Nintendo's practices. But
I would believe it, man.
Yeah,
I would absolutely believe it. And then they'll be like, "Oh, we can't do that. That's actually."
Yeah, Nintendo's history is like, I can definitely see that being something they considered, but I think they're maybe a little bit too afraid to rock the boat again because of how bad the Wii U did. So if it is going to be essentially Switch 2, it needs to be backwards compatible. There's no...
That thing did as bad as the 3DO. Y'all remember that? Everybody told. Remember 3DO? They had 2 commercials, kid.
Lord.
That was it. That was it. The N-Gage, the Nokia N-Gage, they tried to make me really respect this. Yo, like,
Yeah. Well, that we'll make it an episode for sure, and just kind of go hit the beat to beat. Jory, you can defend the Xbox Connect.
oh, who's defending? I ain't defending that,
So
man. Yeah,
you can
take
fire
that,
off a Kamehameha in real time with the Xbox Connect.
No,
Fight
you
rat-inspired
keep that,
real
man.
key blast with your hands and get a good exercise and workout.
Kid, nah,
Power up to the
fam,
next level with the Connect's motion sensor capture camera.
That's a 90s commercial. Slip and slide. What's Marlon and Bailey? What's the toy company,
Inflatable
man,
pool.
that gave us all inflatable dog? Come on, man. Like, I wasn't buying that thing one bit. When they showed it was Skynet level, and I was like, okay.
Oh,
When they
man.
had the little Milo, he wrote a letter. I was like, yo, I ain't playing this, man. Like, yo, you, man, bro, y'all.
Xbox is more than a
Crazy.
console. It's an entertainment system. Imagine a world you're booting up your TV with OK Connect, turn on NFL, Season Pass.
And that's what you
Like,
get
yo,
when you
yo,
hire
yo.
CEOs from Target. From Target, man. And then you tell us it's not backwards compatible. Then now Sony turned to Zetsu now. All the Xbox fans turned to Zetsu, kid. So it's like, what you doing?
And it's
Hey,
console
man, they
locked.
learned
No,
their lesson.
you can't share used games. Your game is a
Phil
one-time
Spencer,
buy.
Phil Spencer, bro. Phil Spencer had to turn to Mr. Rogers in public and in the office cradle stuff.
Woo!
You're gone. What's up? Halo's not doing numbers? Okay. Emergency. Yeah, anyway. I mean, Phil Spencer, the reign of Phil Spencer, I'm pretty sure everybody who could speak on it is gone. Assassinated.
Yeah. Quietly.
Gone.
Just, hey, come on back real quick.
Gone. Yeah.
Bring your things.
A whole Family Guy skit segue. Yeah, it's kind of like that time Phil Spencer took over. A whole Family Guy segue, man.
Go ahead and bring a day pass with you. I mean, that's not going to work after your last shift.
And then
man.
Lord Beerus, aka Don Matrick. What? If you want to buy the new one, just play the O360. Keep that. Excuse me? Y'all forgot you was talking to? Y'all talking to the Xbox fans? Oh, they said, yo, I'm out of here. All the games that I purchased, you telling me to buy again? But I downloaded it. It's on my console. There's a digital receipt for my purchase on my credit card.
That
what are you doing?
E3 announcement will go down
Not to
forever
mention,
in history.
I have an iPhone where I can download my music that I bought as long as it's tied to my account. Don't sell me this. Yeah, it's a wrap. Saran.
That was a time.
Yeah, no, of course.
All right, y'all. I'll get us out of here.
All right.
First of all, we want to thank the listeners. Thank you guys. Thanks to the watchers that leave comments, that leave likes, the listeners. Thank you guys for always tuning in for another episode. You know, we're always looking for ways to improve.
Like and subscribe.
Yes, like and subscribe.
Please.
Get us to the YouTube partner program. Run these views up. We'll be able to crank out more content. But, either way, we're still going to, we believe in our quality. We believe in what we bring to the table. And we're going to keep making content for y'all. So this has been another episode 12 of the Gamer Podcast. Once again, there's more branding aspects coming to it soon. But this has been Antonius the Gamer, Super SSS Rank, Mikkel Smith with the Gamer Podcast. Until next time, everybody.
Peace.